Alright. My name is Glitchymon, and I am currently second place in Hundo. And what 100% is it's the requirement. It's a very heavily glitched category where you need to collect everything in your inventory screen. So that's gold skulltulas, heart pieces, like everything on your item screen, all equipment, basically everything. The only thing we don't do is maps, compasses, and boss keys because those are only in dungeons. But we go very much out of the way, out of order, and the run is pretty cool. And we've had several major developments in the last few months, so it's gonna be a fresh new start each time you look at Hundo from now on, most likely, for at least a year. So right now I have ZFG, the one and only, commentating with me. He's gonna help commentate.
Hey guys, what's up?
And we're gonna hope that the run goes well. We have a pretty high estimate because almost anything can go wrong in 100%. It's a very difficult category with a high skill ceiling, so I'm pretty much ready to start. Do we have a countdown, or what are we gonna do? F. Okay, I guess I would be starting then.
Yeah, is the timer on? Yeah, you're controlling the timer, right?
Okay, yeah. So
yeah,
I guess
you do your own countdown.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure Amarek is not dumb. I have audio delay issues with Amarek, so I always make sure it's synced up so it doesn't have anything bad happen. But we're ready. So we're gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. And ZFG, do you have anything you want to add?
I guess we can quickly go over what's changed in the last few months and how everything's completely flipped upside down recently.
Yeah, so basically, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
As of December this year, we've had quite a few major reroutes 100%. The first reroute we've had was Goron City pot chest, and
Yeah.
with that trick, we manipulate a pot to give us a bunch of different items. And now, currently in the current route, before it changes again, we have Zora's River Butterfly SRM. And what SRM is it's scale reference manipulation. And ZFT, do you have good explanation?
Yeah, I can sort of go over it. So there's certain cases in the game where so if you know when Link is holding something where he's just picking it up over his head, the way the game sort of simulates that is by making what he's grabbing essentially match Link's position. And so to do that, it's manipulating certain values to just change the say if you're picking up a rock, it's changing the rock's position and angle to match Link's so that it looks like Link is picking it up. So we found this new glitch where it turns out you can make the thing that Link is holding go away and have something else load in that same spot, but with Link essentially still looking like he's holding that thing. And that also means he's still updating certain values with his angle and position. So turns out, if you can get something really cool to load in the same spot where Link was supposed to be holding something, you can change some really important values. And so you can essentially you can just change certain data about actors, which are just objects in the world, like rocks, grass, enemies, stuff like that. So we can use SRM to change certain values in these things. And one of the most important things we can change is functions. So there's certain lines of code, there's certain pointers that the game will say to point to some other place in the code to run some certain function. And we can change where we tell the game to look for certain code to run. And this is incredibly powerful. You'll see some ridiculously powerful applications of it coming up soon. But yeah, it's a crazy glitch. Glitchymon mentioned the first application of it in 100% was back in December, but this was actually found back in October, and then it was like nonstop research for it, like pretty much since from October to now. Like people haven't stopped looking into it, learning more stuff about it. And then like December was when we finally had like the first like big thing that we could actually implement into 100% with pod chest. And then not long after, butterflies, which we'll see coming up in this run soon. So yeah, this run we basically got the biggest glitch ever back in October, and it's been continuing to give us good stuff for months now. But that glitch isn't the entire run, so I guess we should also talk about just some general run aspects. You want to just talk about like the beginning of the run?
Yeah, so what we need for the beginning is we need a sword and a shield. And in order to get that sword, we need nothing, but in order to get that shield, we need 40 rupees, and we have a set route to get as many rupees as possible in the shortest amount of time. So so there's a trick here called bridge clip that's 1 frame, which allows us to get that blue rupee a little bit faster. There's another rupee behind, I can't remember whose house it is, but it's the house near Lost Woods. There's a blue rupee behind there, which we can grab, but it's a little bit slow.
Yeah, that's Mido's house.
Yeah, Mido's house.
All randomizer runners would know that.
So there's a hard trick coming up here, so... We got it.
Nice.
So what that trick is, it's called a water extended super slide. And what I did there was I jump slashed against a pillar which recoiled like backwards into the water. And what I did was I held a position on my control stick called ESS position, which keeps Link's current speed. So Link's jump slash recoil speed basically stays with me as long as I'm holding that control stick position. And what I do is I use that speed to clip into the guard. And that window to get through the guard is about a 2-frame window. And if you fail it, you have to do a backup and equip shields. It's pretty bad if you fail it, but if you get it, it's good. But there is a faster method of speed known as a hyper-extended super slide, or HES, but we'll be able to do that a little bit later in the run. And when I say later, I mean in probably 7 minutes. So stay tuned. And, for the most part, the beginning, we're really limited on our items. All we have is a sword and shields. We just have to try and get the necessary items to progress. And there is a way, I'm sure you guys love this owl from your casual playthroughs, but there is a way to skip this owl with the equipment we have. But the problem is that the speed it takes to skip him is slower than actually talking to him. So you can do a very, very slow method of ESS along the wall, but it's not very fast, so we don't do it. And coming up very soon, we're going to have another application of water extended super slide to get into Kakariko Village, which uses the same technique as in Kikiri Forest. And this way, we actually skip the owl that's guarding Kakariko, because for some reason, the owl cannot talk to you if you're quote-unquote busy. So if you're super sliding, doing a WES or a HES, or targeting something, the owl cannot talk to you. And a super slide is a different technique that we might be doing a little bit later, but it's much frequently used in comparison to HESing. And what we're doing now is we need to collect a bunch of cuckoos to get an empty bottle in Kakariko. And the reason the empty bottle is so important is because it is one of the most broken items in this game alone. And it is the primary item used for a very much older 80% route that beat Ganon going from wrong warping from Deku Tree. And what wrong warps are is, well...
yeah, we can get into that.
Yeah, we can get into that later. Yeah, but... Well, stay tuned.
Real quick, Glitchymon, you forgot something.
What is it?
You forgot the file name.
Well, I mean, I was never told what it was.
Oh, yeah, we kind of forgot that. But, like, I guess after Bomb in the Well, just, like, say warp out and create a second file with it. But, yeah, file name is Daddy.
Okay, trade a second file? What do you mean?
No, I just, like, create a second file. But,
Oh,
like,
okay.
I guess we'll play on this one.
Okay, sounds good. I was not aware. Okay, we'll do that.
Sorry for scam, chat.
Alright, so the cuckoos are pure RNG, so getting good luck on cuckoos can be really difficult. Once we have the empty bottle, we can safely go into the well. And the well has a very important item we need. Stay tuned. And what I just did was
Go ahead.
And what I just did was a Navi dive, and the way a Navi dive works is if you jump slash and then you press Navi, Link takes a step back, and then Link falls. Like, Link goes into a mini cutscene and he falls. And when you're in a cutscene state, Link doesn't float on water. And now what we need to do is something called an Ocarina dive, which is a little bit precise and a little bit hard on timing.
Yeah, so here in Bomb of the Well, there's like an upper floor and a bottom floor, and what Glitchymon wants right now is some bomb shoes, which is on the upper floor. But you can't get to them normally unless you blow up some rubble, which needs bombs or bomb shoes to get to, which he doesn't have. So he's gonna do a trick here where he gets ISG and does a hover off of an enemy here, right in front of one of the holes that leads to the basement. And you can press Ocarina right on the edge of where the ground meets, like where the gap is, and it makes Link fall down while using the Ocarina, and the Ocarina prevents load triggers from happening, so when he falls down, the game doesn't actually load the basement. And when he's in the basement, the water, there's like shallow water that goes all around Bomb of the Well, but that shallow water actually extends downwards infinitely. So in the basement, you can swim in the shallow water, clip through the ceiling of the basement, which is unloaded, and then from there you can actually get into the little hole where the bomb shoe chest is. You get bomb shoes early. And then after that, you use the bomb shoes to clip through the vines and swim in the water again to get to Dead Hand early, which normally you'd need to lower the water using Zelda's Lullaby. So this gets to Dead Hand early. So the main purpose of doing Bomb of the Well early like this is for bomb shoes, but then there are also other things we need to get here anyway, like Lens of Truth and a Gold Skulltula coming up. So just while we're here, might as well get those. There are 2 Gold Skulltulas left in Bomb of the Well that won't be gotten quite yet, but we'll just have to come back for that later. So here, Glitchymon's going to do another vine clip. This one is instead being used with the Skulltula instead of the bomb shoe, and that's because you have to get hit sideways here. And so the Skulltula hitting you sideways makes you actually land in the water, so you can swim over here and then swim into this room. This actually skips a key. You normally need a key to get in here.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's all right. Yeah. And then ideally you want to hover up to that Skulltula, but if you miss it, you can also get grabbed by the like here. Or remember to make the file.
No, how was it, uppercase or lowercase?
Uh, I assume lowercase.
Oh,
Yeah, it's all lowercase.
okay. There's Daddy.
Daddy. Sorry, the file won't be used, guys. Our mistake.
But yeah, what we gotta do is, since we got bomb chews, we are pretty decently equipped. Like, it opens up a little bit more of the game, but it doesn't really get us too far. So we have a few options. So first off, we need bugs. Like, first off, we need bugs. And, we are gonna do... This is a Hess, where we use the chew recoil damage to keep our speed instead of the water.
And also one thing to mention is that Glitchymon just duped bugs over Deku Stick there. So he turned the Deku Stick into a bottle by swinging the bottle while updating the last button press to be Deku Stick, which you can change what button is your last button pressed while still having a bottle in your hand by shielding and pressing that button. And then, so that makes the bottle go over your last button pressed, but which normally should be a bottle, but in that case was actually Deku Stick. And that's important because the trick coming up is going to give him lots of items in bottles, and the bugs would be deleted. So this will let him keep bugs. So now we come to the big trick. So this is SRM, or stale reference manipulation. So right now, Glitchymon is holding a bomb chew, and in Link's hands, the game has a check that says, okay, in Link's hands, Link is holding this object at this memory address. And when he grabbed the bomb chew, or when he grabbed the Skulltula token with the bomb chew in his hand, the bomb chew blew up, so Link was no longer holding the bomb chew. Then the camera panned, and something else loaded.
I gotta focus
That new
CFG.
thing. You want to like mute or deafen?
Alright. I'm not sure.
Should I? Just like quickly deafen Discord real quick or something.
Okay, I'll try. Okay, I can deafen. Okay. Oh, I just realized I can't deafen.
And so...
I just realized that everything got eaten that you said. I deafened in Discord.
Wait.
Sorry.
Oh my god, so I didn't explain anything?
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
Sorry. You told me to deafen, so I did.
Oh, I didn't... Alright, yeah. Okay, well, the short version is, he did SRM to change the butterfly to give him items. I'm not going through the whole thing again.
I had to... Yeah. My bad.
Alright, yeah. We should have, like, discussed that earlier.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. I didn't realize that... Oh, I need to mute myself so I can focus. Wait, the stream can't hear you. I can give a slightly decent explanation. I can explain a lot of stuff. Oh, sorry.
I can still do it. Like, I can still, like, give a shortened version here.
Okay.
But I guess we should explain this real quick. So, yeah, you can become adult early by going out of bounds near the door time. There's, like, a little crack you can slide hop out of and jump slash back in. Lets you get to adult really early. Yeah, okay, so I guess the shortened version of everything that just happened in Zora's River is he's able to use stale reference manipulation to change a function in a butterfly actor. And so this changes a certain function in the butterfly to actually give Link items. And the items are based on a Bombchu that's running around. It's the Bombchu's position relative to camera. And so, like, the items changing every frame, changing very rapidly. And it's very precise on how we get each individual item. So, yeah, that's how I got all those items. And also something important to note about the items gotten is that 100% has what's known as a source requirement rule, where all the items required for 100% must come from... You must get all the items required for 100% from their original source. So that means, like, for example, you have to get the hammer from the chest at Fire Temple, or you have to get the gold scale from fishing, or stuff like that. So everything that Glitchymon got from Zora's River does not count towards 100% completion. Absolutely nothing there counts towards 100% completion. But you are allowed to use glitches to get items early, as long as you also get the real version later on. So that's the point of that, is that we get a ton of items early, and those items early open up a lot of possibilities for routing and just, like, speeding things up. Like, for example, one of the items he got early was Poacher's Saw, and then he used RBA, or Reverse Bottle Adventure, which is catching a bottle on your B button, which modifies parts of your inventory based on your C right item. And by having the Poacher Saw on C right and catching bugs on B, that actually gives you some songs. The notable songs being Prelude of Light, Zelda's Lullaby, and Nocturne of Shadow. And so you just saw he just warped straight into Temple of Time with the warp song. Where did he get that? Well, that was from the Zora's River stuff and RBA. And also, you'll see after this cutscene, Nocturne will be the first thing you place to get out of Temple of Time. And so yeah, it's a super good glitch. He also gets a lot of other important items like Long Shot and Bomb Chews. That just helps speed things up so much. Just having them early is so good.
And now we use that prelude to head to Temple Time a little bit faster, which is a little bit of a time save, and We're adult now, without the 3 spiritual stones. Pretty easy. I mean, anybody can do this in their casual playthrough. Just know how to do it. It's not hard. But yeah, we adult section. This adult section, so 100% is split into multiple parts. It's split into child 1, adult 1, child 2. I say it with a smile.
Sort of.
Adult 2, and then child 3 and adult 3. So we have to go back and forth with the Master Sword quite a few times. It's not because we want to, but it's because there are certain items we cannot get earlier on or later. We have to go to adult, and then back child, then back adult, then back child. And, there are definitely ways to cut out those sections, but it requires a lot of, sketchy rerouting.
Yeah, in older routes, the actual minimum for number of times you have to go back and forward in time is actually 2 each. Like in older routes, we used to only do 2 child and 2 adult sections. But it turns out, as more glitches were implemented into the route, turns out that a 3rd child and adult section actually turned out better.
But yeah.
So yeah, here's the warp song you got early. Just very quick to get out of Temple of Time. It's actually really good because it used to be that you had to save warp out of Temple of Time because the door of time was still there. So you can just warp out now, which is really nice.
Don't worry, guys, I have not gone completely crazy. So what I'm doing there is I'm actually unloading the Sunsong Grave by going back and forth and reloading the area multiple times. Normally I would have to play Zelda's Lullaby in front of it, and it's a little bit slow, so we just don't do that.
Yeah, that's about 10 to 15 seconds faster than actually opening the grave. And it looks nicer, I think. And so yeah, this is to get Sunsong, and Sunsong is obviously a really important item for 100% because of gold Skulltulas, where a lot of them only come out at night. So we kind of have to get this really early.
Sunsong, surprisingly, at this point, isn't used very often in the run. It's been cut out quite a bit.
It's still used a good amount. I mean, we've been able to optimize it quite a bit so that we cut out a lot of other important ones, but we still use it a good amount.
Yeah. And now we got Sunsong. So here's another example of a Hess. But instead of just Hessing standalone, we're going to Hess off a torch. Doesn't save much time, but it's worth it. And if you notice, the grave is still there. We don't permanently unload it, it's just temporary while we're in the map. So now what we need is a small Poe, because it will be important for a trick called RBA later on. And what I did there was I grabbed the Poe as I was going into the grave, which saves a little bit of time in movement. About 2 seconds, but it looked cool, so we do it.
So for Dante's race here, normally you do 2 races, one for the hookshot and another one for the heart piece. So the check that the game actually uses to determine whether or not you should get the hookshot or the heart piece is it actually checks your inventory and sees if you have anything in your hookshot slot. And if you don't, you get the hookshot. If you do, you get the heart piece. And so just by the fact that Glitchymon has longshot now from the SRM earlier, it sees that something is in that slot, and so it won't even bother giving the hookshot. It'll just go straight to the heart piece. And so when we mentioned stuff about source requirement earlier, that only applies to the highest item upgrades. And so when it comes to the hookshot and long shot, it's only the long shot that's required and not the hookshot. So we can just skip the hookshot completely. There's a lot of time just having to do Dampe's race twice. And then in here, there's these Song of Time blocks blocking the way that you can just clip right through with a bomb shoe and get to the windmill.
And it just happens to be that Song of Storms is right after the Dampe race, so we can just grab it while we're here.
Yeah, very nice and convenient. Oh yeah, also something interesting to note about the long shot being used in the race. So that torch you saw Glitchymon long shot at the end of the Dampe race, you can't reach it with hookshot, you can only do it with long shot. And so we basically could never do it in 100% until now. The interesting thing about it is it basically doesn't actually save time because the actual time that matters is how much time it takes for Dampe to reach the final point where you can talk to him. And he doesn't actually get to that point faster with Longshot as opposed to just running up the spiral. So it kind of basically doesn't save time, but it saves time on the timer, which, because the timer freezes as you're hookshotting across. So it like looks cooler and doesn't necessarily lose time, but it's also technically not faster.
So what I need to do here is I need to take damage for something special coming up. But you know, you kind of notice how we had a fairy in our inventory at the end of SRM when we were pausing. We're gonna need that here. Because we need to die and be revived, but stay tuned. Uh-oh. We're good. So, the thing about the hookshot, it's kind of useful here. And I will see how it... Okay. So, what I just did was, it's called hookshot jump. If you interrupt the hookshot with death, Link shoots very high. And Link's height depends on where you shoot. It just happens that the bomb of that bridge does not have a collision, so we can shoot to the top and get bombs pretty early. So now we have bombs. So we don't completely need bomb shoes, but we're still going to use them.
And this actually has another really good thing about it. And there's one gold Skulltula in Delongo's Cavern in a room with like stairs you need to blow up, and you normally have to come to that room from behind in order to get the gold Skulltula. And normally the way you do that is hitting a switch after you've gone through the dungeon the forward way, and then go back to the dungeon in reverse. But since we're just going through the dungeon in reverse at the start, this room is already just as we want it for the gold Skulltula. Although I guess with Longshot you don't quite need it that way, but it's still nice. Because Longshot is able to reach the Skulltula from so far away.
And we are going to be coming back DC later. We still have a few Skulltulas we have to grab. Stay tuned.
Yeah, some of the dungeons in this run will actually take multiple trips. It may seem kind of weird, but a lot of the time it's because one trip we might want a certain item really early, and then the second trip is like the more optimal trip where we actually are well equipped to do everything quickly.
And in Goron City, we do need to get a few things. So the first thing we need is the skeletal token. And then the second thing we need is the Goron tunic. But we're not going to get it from the Goron. He's slow.
Yeah, the Goron takes like a full minute to talk about crying about Darunia and Volvagia and stuff. So instead, you just clip into the shop like this and just buy it. So this is another benefit of all the items Glitchymon got from SRM earlier, both the Giant's Wallet and 200 rupees, just to buy that. And now, there's a door to Darunia's room that's locked until you talk to this Goron. But you can also skip that by doing a Mega Slide Hop with a Bomb Shoe and clipping through the wall. And you can also clip through here by hookshotting the ground, because for some reason, the ground right there for the loading zone is hookshotable. It's like a random hookshotable piece of collision, even though it has no reason to be hookshotable, just kind of is. And here in Death Mountain Crater, there's a cutscene for the Blur of Fire. And you don't want to watch that cutscene, so we're going to clip out of bounds by grabbing the ledge right as the cutscene starts and then dropping. And this forces Link to like fall through the ground. And you actually get the song as soon as the cutscene starts. So the cutscene starts, you get the song, then you fall out of bounds, void out, and skip the whole cutscene.
So one thing I did get is eye drops during the SRM in Zora's River. And this will be used right here. And the funny thing about eye drops in general is that even though it doesn't come with a typical timer, if I die, then I will lose the eye drops, and I will not be able to give eye drops to Bigoron. I will be permanently locked out. Unless, of course, can we do the trade quest again? Is that possible?
Yeah, you get prescriptions, so you could like give it to King Zora and do the last part.
Okay.
Not the fastest, but you could.
Yeah. So it's very important that we do not die or save warp. We can't save warp either before we give eye drops. And since there's like a bunch of stuff we can do in Death Mountain Trail, we'll just do it now. So we're gonna get magic while simultaneously playing as many Sun songs as we possibly can. Because in order to get the Bigoron sword, we need to have it turn day 3 times. So right now we are on day 1. Need to play a few more times. And movement, there's not really too much strict movement here, just playing Sun. Just gotta make sure you get it done. Definitely more optimal ways to do it. You can play Suns outside of here, but I think it's a little bit slower. Or at least it feels slower.
Yeah, I've actually got to step out for a bit. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Sounds good. So generally we just gotta play a few Sun songs, and playing inside here is a little bit faster than playing outside because it instantly turns day, because if you play it outside you gotta wait for the time of day to slowly pass. And since we got claim check, we'll just give it and get the real Bigoron sword, skipping almost all the trade quests. So now what we need to do is we need to head down Death Mountain Trail, get a few items. And in this section, our time of day, or time of day is also known like daytime, nighttime cycle. It's very precise here, optimally. I need to not lose, I'd say, like, more than, like, 8 seconds of time a day while I'm outside. Because it's gonna be pretty important later. I have to make sure I get through here as quickly as possible. And in addition to this, I need to start taking damage very slowly because we're gonna need to lose all my health very soon. And what this is I didn't really explain it earlier, but that's a mega flip, where you roll into an explosion and you backflip out at a certain time. It gives Link a longer and faster backflip than normal, which can skip past quite a few important parts. And what I need to do here is I need to get the nut upgrade. So what we used to do before is we used to take damage. We used to dupe the nut upgrade here and get the same one twice, but we get the middle nut upgrade during SRM, so we don't need to. So we are doing very well. I need to take a little bit of damage there. We have a lot of spare bomb shoes ideally, so we should be good. Shouldn't be anything wrong here. And we need to get menu out of forest. So now, watching the cutscene is for scrubs, so we're just gonna go under the cutscene trigger. No big deal. And with that, the cutscene skipped. And what I did in the ladder there was I did a trick called down A, which gives Link the properties as if he's still climbing on a ladder. So it allows Link to climb up slopes, because you wouldn't be able to climb up that normally. Uh-oh. Finger slip. So again, this is the part where time of day is passing out here, so I have to be very, very quick. It's very important that I get this skull a little bit faster with long shot now than hook shot in previous routes. And it's very bad if I fall down here, so I gotta be careful. Alright, we're safe. We're not gonna fall anytime soon. And I need to get this gold skeletal token and then death warp, because I need to go back to the start of Zora's River and do it very quickly, because my time again, my daytime nighttime cycle is very tight. It's very, very tight. So there's also a clip I can do here to get into Zora's River without ZL, which is pretty convenient. Again, it saves time of day, and saves time too. So now what we need to do is we need to get the Zora tunic, but I don't have blue fire. How am I gonna do that? Uh-oh. We need blue fire normally, right? Well, it's okay, because we'll figure out a way. I'm just gonna read this sign because I want to find out some information about King Zora. No big deal. Didn't need to get the Skulltula. And, okay. King Zora drank some medicine and now he's unfrozen, so he's fine. I'll get the tunic now. We're good. No big deal, just, he managed to unfreeze himself. He doesn't even need me. He's independent. But yeah, yes, you can buy the Zora tunic for 300 rupees, but we don't really have that money. So we just yoink it from King Zora. Again, another example of Hessing, saves a little bit of time. Although it does use explosives. Like, every Hess I do uses an explosive, so if I fail a Hess, it's extra punishing.
Hey, I'm back.
Hello. So, just so you know, nothing bad happened since you were gone, so you can not be concerned.
Nice.
I think King Zora might only have one tunic. I might have took his only one. Maybe I should feel bad. So now we're gonna get a pretty important spell. Not because we're getting it right now, but it's just important by itself. Which would be used a pretty large amount in the run. Even if you never use this as a casual, it's still pretty important.
Yeah, this is basically one of the most broken items in the game. The way we use it, at least.
So now what I need to do is a trick called a weird shot. And I need to get it and I'll explain it. So what I do is I roll into a bomb and force Link's camera to be under Link with hookshot pulled out so I can shoot. I can shoot to get Link to areas where he normally shouldn't be. So I can get the skull toad very quickly without requiring silver gauntlets or anything. And with long shot, we can reach that a lot easier. We cannot reach that with hookshot. Reach that ledge with a jump slash a little bit faster. And this area is one of the most execution-heavy areas in the run. And in addition to this, there is a very difficult trick at the very end, so stay tuned.
So here you normally have to kill the freezers to open the gate, but you can use hookshotting them to clip through this wall. To skip that little room. And then here you're supposed to go through one room to catch blue fire and use blue fire to melt some of the red ice here, but you can also clip through it, this time with a Hess. Come over here and get the Skulltula and Heart Piece early. This Heart Piece also has a way to skip blue fire for it by doing a crouch stab into the red ice with a bomb, and the bomb plus crouch stab pushes you just far enough into the ice to grab the Heart Piece. Then another Hess coming up. This one's gonna go all the way across Ice Cavern. Putting through red ice more. Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, we can grab that ledge.
Yeah. Not too bad though, because you can just ground jump back up. Yeah, so like basically all the red ice in Ice Cavern, there's some way to skip it. And for these forward backflips here, with hover boots, all you have to do is just be moving forward and then do a backflip, and your momentum will still carry you forwards. It's really cool for little tricks like that. These guys.
I don't know how much health I have.
You should just need 2 hits.
Yeah.
2 hits and then the third one for the skip. And the Wolfos there takes, like, I think it's 8 times damage if you attack him on his back, so that's how he gets 1-hit KO'd. Then here, Glitchimon's gonna try to die the frame before opening the chest, or the frame you open the chest. And there it is.
Yep.
And so this way, normally the Serenade of Water cutscene starts immediately after you get the Iron Boots. But instead, Link is gonna die as soon as the cutscene starts. And that's another cutscene skip. Get the song as soon as the cutscene starts and not have to watch the whole thing.
I'm gonna safety save here. Okay, well, maybe not. Also, having a bottle over the Deku Stick slot can cause it can
Cause those like weird glitchy things on the pause screen. So if you saw that like giant black blob on the pause screen, that's just a little glitchy artifact caused by having items where they shouldn't be on the pause screen. It can also change a lot. So like right now it's a big black square. Maybe later on it can change into a little flickering triangle instead. And lots of other weird patterns. Interesting. And so now, Glitchymon's gonna try to get into Jabu. So normally Jabu isn't supposed to be here as adult. Turns out he's just trapped under the ice. Or at least the loading zone for Jabu is. So, what you can do is do a mega side hop. And, you can do a mega side hop with hover boots. Switch the boots to gain your full speed. And then do a jump slash and clip into the ice and get into Jabu.
And adult is not normally supposed to be here, so the dungeon is a little bit different.
Yeah.
We're gonna be setting forwards when here to come back a little bit later. Small use for it. Doesn't save like a huge amount, like it's not required, but we just do it because we have enough magic. Also, Rudo is still here as adult, so we gotta carry her around. Also, one small thing about the movement here is when we're long-shotting these Skulltulas, normally you need the boomerang here, but we're adult, we have long shot, so it's pretty fast. The Birya on the left can hit me if I'm not far enough forward there. Just a small little detail. Long shot in this dungeon is pretty broken. Not as broken as being adult in the dungeon is, because there's a lot of, just speeds it up. And these Shaboms are RNG based, as I said. They bounce at random, and they can hit me and make me drop Rudo, so it loses a little bit of time each time it happens. And there's also one small RNG section here. I need to grab a fairy from this pot. This pot isn't visible, but it's up there. And I got it in one swipe, so I got lucky.
Nice. Hardest trick in the game.
Yep.
Yeah, so there, the hookshot can go through the walls in Jabu, so there's actually a pot up on that ledge, but the hookshot just goes through the Jabu walls. So that's how it's able to break it. And the fairy will always try to match Link's height. So even though the fairy was up on the ledge, it immediately moves down to the height Link is at. No, dude, you lost a frame.
Oh, right.
Supposed to not kill that Octorok because it loses 1 frame to lag.
But what if I take damage from a bubble and save that frame back? If I get hearts.
I guess. And so the entire reason we need to take Ruto around the dungeon is for this switch coming up right here. This switch will only go down if you're holding Ruto. Nothing else will do it.
And what I want to go for is I want to get a magic drop. If I get no magic drop, it's unfortunate, but it saves a little bit of time later if I get it now. Because in this specific route, our magic count is pretty low.
Yeah, we've almost never really had to deal with magic routing in 100% before until pretty much this route. And now we actually have to like really pay close attention to how magic goes. Although that won't be until a bit later on, but you kind of start thinking about it now.
Yeah, so it saves like a little bit of time to get now, but it's not like super duper important. That Beery also has a chance to drop magic, so we can always do that, but it's not as fast as getting magic in the boomerang room.
And you can clip through the wall there just to get into Baronade's room early. Just skips hitting a switch. Just SRM big magic. So actually, going back to SRM, there's a few things you can't get from SRM. Magic is actually one of them. It's just stuff like magic, double defense, big Oron sword. Specifically big Oron sword and not Giant's Knife. Giant's Knife is something you can get from SRM, but not big Oron sword.
And so I'm trying to line up Baronade in a pretty decently precise spot when Baronade dies. It's pretty important when I try and go to the blue warp, because I want the blue warp in a very specific spot.
Yeah, you want the blue warp to be closer to the entrance of the room, and to have that, you want Baronade to die on the farther side of the room.
And what I'm going to use here is I'm going to use Din's Fire to escape this blue warp, because normally what Ruto does is she pulls you in and tells you how useless you are, and then takes you up. But we don't let her do that. We escape, we get the heart container, and we start damaging down. Because we need to die again.
Yeah, so this is a setup for a wrong warp. So Ruto is particularly annoying to wrong warp from, or Jabu specifically because of Ruto. Because Ruto has this text box before the end. And so what Glitchimon's going to do is trigger the text box by facing directly towards Ruto and die, and you see the text box starting to come up. So as soon as the text box is closed, that's the trigger for starting to warp away. So what he's going to do is clip out of bounds here.
Uh-oh.
And try to exit Jabu's boss room at the same time that
Okay, I can do this.
you gotta like be in a specific position for the bomb shooter to clip you out of bounds here.
Yeah, I pressed. Okay, so I can maybe back this up. Okay, saved it.
Pause, champ.
This looks wrong though. This looks like the wrong angle. I don't know what to do here.
I want to say move just a tiny bit left.
Okay. Like that?
No, I mean like hold Z and move left, just a tiny bit.
Ah, shit.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be maybe release boomerang before you do it. I like to have Link's ear line up with like the line on the wall.
Yeah. There is.
This is Monka.
Yeah, there's almost no way this is gonna work.
Oh no.
That might be a frame rate anyway.
That might be good. You might actually want a frame rate.
No. Alright. Frame rate.
Rip. Okay.
Alright, we tried.
So ideally what goes on there is you leave Jabu going back into, you leave the boss room going back into Jabu. You're not actually supposed to, but there actually is a loading zone that goes back into Jabu there. It actually goes to a weird room. It's not like actually the room before the boss. But by leaving the room at the same time that the warp is going off, you can wrong warp to somewhere different. It would actually take you to King Dodongo's boss room. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a tricky wrong warp. There's a lot of moving parts to it. It would also skip. It would both skip this cutscene and let you get to a certain gold Skulltula in Dodongo's cavern faster. It's actually not the most important wrong warp because really the only utility you get out of it is skipping backtracking for one gold Skulltula, plus this cutscene skip. So it's not like a route defining wrong warp. So it's not too bad.
We also kind of need to get extra bombs now.
Ooh, yeah.
Might be slightly important.
A bit more than slightly important, actually.
Yeah.
I think play Nocturne actually.
We can RBA.
I don't know where else you're gonna get bombs.
We can RBA.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Or I can use bomb shoes instead.
I don't think you can use bomb shoes as a substitute enough. You only have like 2 bombs, right?
Yeah, I only have 2. So we.
Yeah, you're gonna have RBA.
Okay.
Oh.
Uh-oh. I only have 1 bomb
Oh
left.
yeah.
That might be an issue. I need to equip Master Sword because if I dupe over, never mind, I can do this. I have one try.
Remember you have Poe equipped, by the way, if you intend that. Okay.
Okay, yeah, now I have to re-equip bugs. Okay, so now we have... Wait. Oh yeah, I forgot to RBA milk.
You did it with, yeah, you did it with Poe, not milk.
Okay, well that's...
that's why I was saying that.
Okay, well...
Well, that's fine. You can only... You just have to dump the bugs now. Just go back into Forest now.
Yeah, it's not an issue. We are... Okay.
Okay, minor detour.
Mine.
So yeah, here in Forest Temple, Forest is one of the places where Longshot is probably the most useful. Just like there's so many Skulltulas you can reach from farther away, just like hookshotting things faster. Longshot's just really nice here. And so in this room, there's this cutscene where Poes are gonna start moving. Oh, save. You're on a late frame. Save in case.
I'm on the right frame. At least I think I am.
Oh.
Yeah, you have 2. If you mash, you have 2 frames for that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So there's this cutscene here where the Poes move the elevator down, and if you catch something in a bottle, right as you if you catch something in a bottle right as the cutscene starts, then you can actually get to the elevator before it goes down. And this lets you get to the basement early. This is supposed to be the very end of the dungeon after you've killed all the Poes. This lets you get down here really early just to get this one Skulltula. And that alone means you don't have to kill any of the Poes. And then here's also a use of having ice arrows early. So Glitchymon doesn't have the bow yet, but he has both ice arrows and quiver. And those combined essentially allow you to use arrows without having the bow, which is really useful for stuff like hitting that switch to get to that room early. So ice arrows useful for once.
Also, I kind of forgot to equip Master Sword, so... Or bigger on sword, so I gotta do that.
Yeah, the Goron Sword's super nice for the Stalfos fights in Forest Temple. They all die in only 2 hits instead of 3 with the Master Sword.
They also have it has a little bit more range than Master Sword, so it can negate the RNG a little bit.
Yeah.
And what we have coming up here is something called a ledge clip. If we fall off a ledge, the left side of a ledge, and Z target on the same frame. Okay, I need to try. You can clip through. I shouldn't be talking when I'm doing this. Alright, so that's how you do it. You get in here early. We need to get a Deku stick from this Deku Baba, because we still have a bottle over our stick slot, which is kind of an issue. Because we need sticks at the end of forest. We need to be able to use them.
Yeah, and just picking up any random drop will put Deku sticks back there.
Yeah. And there are, we have to do some slightly difficult maneuvers here. Not too difficult, but we're gonna be using a trick called a ground jump, which you saw in Secret Forest Meadow. If you stand in the corner there, you can get up those blocks and skip the puzzle, or most of it anyway.
Yeah, you normally have to like push these blocks into a. There's like this big block pushing puzzle, but you can just climb on top of these and get to the end of the room.
But don't worry, guys. We'll be getting magic eventually.
We'll be getting magic by the time we need it.
Yes.
It's all planned out.
All part of the plan.
Deku Nuts are super good for this fight. They just instantly freeze them and you kill them so quickly they don't even have a chance to fight back.
Uh-oh. We're good.
And so, yeah, for that boss key skip, you can use the hammer on the wall there, and the hammer sends you at a really high speed backwards, but only for a short amount of time. Really?
Yeah. Yeah, if you manually align there, it can miss.
Okay. But yeah, so the hammer sends you backwards really quickly, but only for a short amount of time, and by equipping hover boots on the right frame, you can preserve that speed. And so using that, you can use that to clip through the wall there, because there's like a little opening, there's like a little corner in the wall you can clip through with enough speed. And it happens to be that the boss room is right below this room. So you just clip out of bounds and fall in the right place, and you hit the boss loading zone.
But yeah, that trick can be iffy to line up if you miss the frame. If you get the frame, it's not an issue, but if you pause early, Link can miss. Just like barely by... He just barely misses. But we're gonna be doing a lot of things during this boss fight. One of them will be breaking our Deku Sticks because we don't like Deku Sticks. They suck. We have bigger on Sorb, so we're gonna break them out of frustration. No big deal. And the graphic you're seeing is the Deku Sticks breaking. I'm not breaking my Biggoron sword. Just to be absolutely clear.
Yeah, Link's so Child Link and Adult Link both have their own weapon that breaks, and Adult's is supposed to be the Giant's Knife. So when Adult is using Deku Sticks and they break, since Adult's not supposed to use Deku Sticks, it actually plays the Giant's Knife breaking animation. So here, Glitchymon is going to set up for another RBA to refill bombs and bomb chews. Because a lot are needed coming up. So again, Poe, when catching bugs on B with Poe on C right, that modifies your bomb chew count. That's why we got 29 bomb chews there. And then later on, he'll dump bugs with Milk on C right, and that'll give 20 bombs. But first, he's got to kill Phantom Ganon. Nice.
Yeah, it's he doesn't take that many hits.
Yeah, so when he's coming out of the painting, when you shoot the bow, he spins his staff, and during that, he's actually vulnerable for a short amount of time. If he flies close enough next to you when he's doing that, then he'll just instantly get hit, and then you have Biggoron Sword Jump Slash ISG damage sword, which does 8 damage per hit, and he has 20 health, and so he just dies super quick.
Now I need to damage down again. Lower extra bomb
time for
chews.
another death. Yeah, so he's setting up for another cutscene skip here. The Forest Medallion cutscene is pretty long. It's like almost 3 minutes long. And so what he's going to do is try to die the frame that it starts. And this will give him the Forest Medallion without having to watch the cutscene, just like some other cutscene skips earlier. So he's going to do Ocarina items, which is a glitch where you catch something in a bottle and do a backflip and press that bottle, and then some other item Link holds in his hands. This lets him gain control on the blue warp. And so he can move around while the blue warp is starting the next cutscene. Nice.
And that was a little bit scary because I paused on the very precise frame I needed to backflip.
Yeah, I was worried about that, but it looked like you knew what you were doing, so I didn't mention it. So yeah, you see that white flash after Link respawning in Forest Temple. That means that Link did in fact get the Forest Medallion. So now it's time to warp out. And so after beating Forest Temple is the thing that normally lets you go back in time, go back to Child. So we're gonna go back to Child. That's what you're supposed to do after beating Forest Temple. The door is still there though, so he's got to clip past the door by using a Deku Stick crouch stab and then switching to hover boots to maintain that speed. This is actually why I didn't break all the sticks in Forest Temple. You want 0 sticks after this second door time skip as adult, but you need 2 sticks to get past the door. That is why a few sticks remain. So that first out of bounds skipped the Prelude of Light cutscene. And now you can actually go back in time after doing RBA here. I'm going to do RBA with a Fairy on C right, and Fairy modifies Deku Stick count. So he actually just went to 0 Deku Sticks in order to get Bottle on B, then caught Bugs on B with Fairy on C right to go back to 29 Deku Sticks. Then got rid of the Fairy because the Fairy is no longer useful. And so the Bottle on B, this Deku Sticks there isn't too important. It's like kind of important, but the more important thing is just having a bottle on B as adult period. Because if adult has a bottle on B and you go back and forward in time, like Glitchymon is about to do right now, without even doing anything as child, just go back and forward in time, and adult's B button will update to whatever Child Link has on C right, or whatever item corresponds to Child Link C right. So Child Link C right had Long Shot, which actually corresponds to item value 13, which is Furor's Wind.
So we now have Furor's Wind on B, and it's pretty useful.
Yeah, so normally Furor's Wind is limited only in dungeons, but when Furor's Wind is on your B button, oh yeah, because
Yeah.
of yeah.
Exciting.
So when Furor's Wind is on your B button, you can use it anywhere where you can use a sword, which is almost anywhere in the game. So essentially, you can use Furor's Wind anywhere now, which is amazingly powerful. When are they gonna get Epona? Actually, coming up pretty soon. So a very cool trick coming up here. So Glitchymon almost got that Skulltula token, but he pressed Ocarina right before grabbing it, and this delays the token until you hit the ground. The problem is, by the time he hit the ground, the Skulltula token was so far off screen that it was unloaded. So now, as soon as the Skulltula token comes back on screen, then it will instantly give him the token. He's going to do that right as he hookshots the tree. And the Skulltula token is going to interrupt the hookshot and send him flying.
What are we dropping?
And this lets you jump all the way to fire arrows.
And our time of day is a little bit tight here optimally. It's not too big a deal if we're slow, but we want to make it into Kikiri Forest before, or just as it turns night. But sometimes that can be, if you mess up any part of your movement, that can be really hard.
Yeah, it's not necessarily tight as in you'll miss something if you don't get there on time, but more so that if you do everything good, you get there right as it turns night, and the longer it takes for you to get there after it turns night, it just means you lost more time. So just like it's like a gauge of how well you do this section.
Yeah. I will permit Trinroga spam.
Oh no. Alright, so coming up here, Glitchimon's gonna do a hover. So normally the way to get on this house is either with a magic bean or a scarecrow song. And scarecrow song we completely skip in this run. Magic bean technically we could have used, but it's just kind of out of the way. So he's actually just gonna hover up here. The bomb hover. And it's really important to kill this Gwei, because if you don't, the Gwei will knock you off the ladder. The Gwei does not... The Gwei has no mercy.
And what I need to do here is I need to grab some magic, because... Oh, there we go.
Hold on, did the keys... Or did the Gwei drop magic? I swear I just saw the Gwei drop magic.
Probably.
Yeah, like, actually clip that. I'm gonna clip that and look at it real quick.
Alright. Yeah, he drops magic sometimes, but rarely. Usually by the time I react, then I can't grab it anymore.
Never mind, it was a rupee. I just thought that would have been really funny if you dropped magic.
Yeah. But we have full magic, so I can skip a few magic drops. That would cost a little bit of time later, but it's not really too important. The important thing is just getting a small amount.
I'll be right back real quick. My Discord's messing up.
Sounds good.
Be back in just a sec. Hello?
Hello.
It's still. Oh my god. Wait. Oh, it's not just me. Hold on. Is anyone? Is your mic messing up, Glitchymon?
No, not I'm aware of.
Oh.
I don't hear anything wrong on your end, ZFG.
Your mic sounds horrible to me right now.
Oh. Weird.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm actually hearing it too. Stream, are you hearing it? Or does
Seems like stream's
Glitchy's
not
mic
hearing it.
sound fine?
Sounds fine. Okay.
Yeah, it's Discord then.
Alright, well,
Glitchymon, maybe when you get a chance, like disconnect and rejoin the call, and maybe that would help.
Alright. I sound fine on stream. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds fine to you guys, and I'm over here dying for this sound.
Okay, I'll rejoin.
Yeah, you can probably do it like during Furrow's Wind. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, you're back. You're fine now.
Alright, that was just Discord.
Discord's a wonderful program. Such clear audio quality.
I mean, you can go back to Skype if you want.
Okay, fair enough.
pro speedrunner, solving technical difficulties mid-run.
Uh-oh. Alright, we're good. Instaclip is kind of
Nice.
scary. I was thinking, when I saw the cursor, I was like, uh-oh. Yep.
Yeah, so adult is not normally supposed to get into Deku Tree, but a Hess goes fast enough to clip through the side of the Deku Tree, and the loading zone's still there, so you just clip out and hit that loading zone. And Deku Tree is really fast as adult. Adult being able to use long shot here is super good. Pretty much all the child dungeons are just way faster as adult in general. General rule of thumb is like, if adult and child can both do something, then adult usually does it faster. This may change in an upcoming Ocarina of Time 100% speedrun route with new tricks. Stay tuned. But for now, with this route, adult is better at everything. Almost.
Yeah. A chance for a clinch shoutout?
Donation incentive?
Sure, why not? If we get... Actually, I don't know. We have to ask permission, right?
I don't know. I was mostly joking, but
Oh.
I don't know.
Deku Stick as adult is a little bit on the jank side when you're trying to get the torch lit.
Yeah, because like the height of the Deku Stick flame hitbox is supposed to match for Child Link's height, but Adult Link is so much taller, and that makes the hitbox for the Deku Stick torch like even higher. So it kind of is awkward to light torches sometimes. So here's a crawl space that Child Link is only supposed to go through. Adult Link can't get through there unless you go out of bounds So you can hover and slide hop clip here. Clips you through the ground, and you can just like walk on the edge of the crawl space and get to the back room here. And another thing to note about doing a Decatry, not only as a adult but just later on in the run, is that this room requires explosives, which normally Child Link wouldn't have explosives. It's your first time here. So it's really nice to just be able to do this later so that you have all the things you need, especially as adult, that just goes super fast. And cool trick here where you super slide off this piece of grass and Link gets teleported back to it. That's just because Link doesn't have a strength upgrade, and Link just always teleports to where the grass is without a strength upgrade. And he also has ISG, which prevents him from falling. And the grass also doesn't update Link's height, so since he went down a slope there, when he gets warped back to it, he's underground. ISG prevents Link from falling, so he's just slightly under the ground and standing there. And then you can do a Mega Slide Hop there to actually hit the loading zone for the boss.
There's also a chance you can accidentally land inbounds, which can lose a lot of time if you have a bad angle. So I always try and make sure to go farther out for that instead of closer in. Because if you fall out of bounds, then the worst thing you do is respawn. If you fall inbounds, there is a backup for it, but it's a little bit hard to execute.
I've actually never fallen inbounds there. I wonder if that's like a controller notch thing.
It is.
Yeah. Rip, you got the bad controller. I got the good one.
Yay.
And so here's one of the first super important uses of Frora's Wind on B is being able to use it in boss rooms. You can warp away with Frora's Wind right as the cutscene is starting, and this causes a wrong warp. In this case, it's a wrong warp to the Silver Gauntlets cutscene in Desert Colossus. So this instantly takes you from Decatry to Spirit Temple. And not just Spirit Temple in general, but the upper part of Spirit Temple, which is really convenient because Glitchymon can get right over to Mirror Shield right after this.
When will we play Banjo? Never.
Nice. Is there a Banjo run this marathon? I don't even know.
Good question.
Oh, I'll check the schedule real quick. Oh yeah, there's Tui. There's Banjo Tui.
Oh, well, we are doing Banjo, just not us.
Alright. There will be Banjo, guys.
Yes, there will be Banjo.
Tomorrow at 8:45 Eastern. AM.
Make sure to watch, guys.
And just a quick reminder that all donations that we receive go directly to the Hackensack Medical Health Center, helping to fight COVID-20, I guess.
And also what I did there was I did a hover boots super slide to get across the gap to get mirror shield, and then I did a hover boots space Hess to get the heart piece there. The Hess is a little bit difficult, but it's not too bad, but if you do fall, it's very punishing because it's going to be very, very hard to get back up if our magic is low. We have a lot of magic this run, so if we do fall, it's okay. But in most normal RTA speedruns of this game, if you fall, it could be run over. So, don't fail it. And since there's not really... This is the best time to get Requiem in the run. Just get it now. We could get it later as Child, but... Well, actually, no, we can't. We have to get it now.
Yeah, you have to warp there as Child.
Yes, we need Requiem to get to Requiem, so...
We could always go back to Coco Jump.
No.
Agreed. So a really cool trick here where you can do a super slide off a bomb and a pot. So since the super slide needs something to grab, you can be grabbing the bomb and have the pot be hitting your shield for the super slide there. And that lets you clip through the wall there and get past the silver block. Normally you need like silver gauntlets to get over to this side, but we don't want silver gauntlets, all we care about is gold. And so we can get over to this room to grab the Skulltula early. Cool little boomerang trick here where we can have the boomerang go through the wall to grab the Skulltula that was killed through the wall also with a bomb shoe. Skipping playing Song of Time there. Which again we still don't have.
Also, our bomb count in this run is a little bit low, but we have a lot of shoes, so we do a small improvisation here. No big deal. And what I did there was I got a lucky bomb drop from the Ormos. Pretty decently high drop rate, and it skips farming a bomb drop coming up. And I want to have Chews equipped for most of Spirit because of the fact that just Chews are faster in general. And our bomb count is not the best. And this
Yeah, Adult Link can clip through that floor just because like you're not supposed to grab that gate from that side, and just kind of the wonky collision there forces Link under the ground there, which is very convenient for getting that key quickly. And now coming up, there's another crawl space that Adult Link can't normally get through because this is supposed to be the child section of Spirit. But you can weird shot here, and you can weird shot a climbable wall past this door. So he's gonna skip the door completely. Uh-oh.
We're good. I was really far back there.
Yeah, so you can weird shot past the door and open the door from behind to skip the crawl space.
There's a strat you can do here to blow up the wall as you get this token.
The chew for the Skulltula looks sick. I haven't seen that.
Yeah. There's this fast strat you can do by blowing up the wall at the same time you collect the skull, but I've soft locked there before, so we're not doing it there. I want you guys to sit through another hour of redoing Adult 2.
A really cool trick coming up here where you can hookshot this chest during the cutscene. Nice. So cool. It only saves like a second, but it's cool. Yeah, so the reason the run is done in Japanese is because the text is faster. There's some games where like the Japanese version might have more glitches or something, but when it comes to Ocarina of Time, the English and Japanese versions are completely identical. The only difference is text. It's just the text makes a huge difference. It saves like, in older routes it was estimated to be like 15 minutes. I'd say it's probably closer to like 10 maybe in this route, just because of how many cutscenes we skip. But it's a lot of time. So yeah, here you can do some like cool little movement maneuvers to climb up the statue here, and the collision for the head is shaped in just the right way so that you can actually hookshot through the head to the gate. and then with a mega flip and equipping iron boots, you can actually clip through the boss door there. So the important part about iron boots there is that you need a certain amount of both horizontal and vertical downward speed. And with a regular mega flip, you don't get enough downward speed to actually clip. So you actually equip the iron boots, and that speeds up your downwards movement enough to actually clip through.
Also, hookshot extension allows us to put the hookshot through a wall or just further out a little bit more, and it helps with a few tricks. We have to press hookshot, hold a direction. Can you explain it?
Yeah, so you hold out hookshot, you hold forward, and then press A and then hookshot again, and it makes Link just move hookshot out slightly forward, and it sometimes lets you do either hookshot shots you couldn't normally do, or just, oh yeah, I guess pretty much mostly do hookshot shots you couldn't normally do. Ooh, scary? Okay, it should be fine. And so he's luring the Iron Knuckle into this corner to do a cutscene skip where the Iron Knuckle is going to die to this bomb after he clips out of bounds. This cutscene is going to start, and he's going to void out, and not have to watch the cutscene.
But this boss coming up, the first phase, has a lot of random elements to it. I can either be pretty much even on average or lose a lot of time. And, it can be messy, but usually it's not too bad.
Hey guys, we actually have a donation.
Oh?
We got $3 from Abelhans.
No.
Hi.
Nice.
Hi.
And this is kind of an interesting pattern. So what I have to do is if they go behind me, I have to go to the corner and hope they're in good spots. If I spam hookshot on one of them while the other one is shooting, it keeps the free one in place so I can hit them easier. So I have to move accordingly pretty much constantly around here and hope I end up in the right spot. But right now they're giving me pretty bad luck. And I have to be a little bit careful. And what they can do also is called a double, where they can shoot again in place after shooting once. It's more of a rare occurrence if anything, but if it does happen, you save quite a bit of time. There is a chance one of the sisters right here could do a double. Okay, they didn't, unlucky, it's okay. And they only need 4 hits as well. They could occasionally go for another hit, even if they've already, even if you've already done 4 hits. So what you have to do is they do that, you have to hookshot them, then they start the next phase. But they're doing it anyway, so we're good. And this phase has no RNG to it. It's basically, don't mess up and you'll be fine. However, if you do mess up the phase, there is RNG. There is RNG, like, if you do mess up. And what I do is I hookshot her so she moves faster. Stay on the platform to kill her a bit faster, and I break all my Deku Sticks. Instead of using hammer or sword, I use Deku Sticks because it's just what we have equipped right now. And, yeah. Now the boss dies and they go to heaven.
Very quietly.
Well, I don't know if chat will agree, but we'll see. Your message wasn't posted due to conflicts with the channel's moderation settings.
Nice.
That is truly a work of evil. I could not even imagine.
We have another 2 donations, both of them from Anonymous. A $10 and a $5.
Oh.
Thank you, my anonymous friends.
And so here's another use for his wind. We can just warp away right as the cutscene starts here. Similar to the other ones, no wrong warp here. Spirit doesn't activate wrong warps, so you just go straight back to where you were with Furrow's Wind. And there's one last Skulltula that we haven't gotten yet. This was the purpose of that last extra key gotten right before the boss in the Spirit Temple, just to get this one Skulltula. Just happens to be faster to leave this one for last because of the way, because of where Furrow's Wind was set. And where we get the keys. And we can just warp straight out and head straight to the next dungeon. So here, before entering Shadow Temple, there's these torches that normally have to be lit in order to open a door in front of Shadow Temple. But those only load past the load trigger down the stairs, and so what you can do is set 3 bombs down in the same place and slide off into them from a certain position. And the bombs actually push you past the load trigger, so the torches in the door don't even get a chance to load, and you can just walk right into Shadow Temple.
The nice thing about the magic I got earlier is that we can skip the magic pot right outside Dead Hand's room. It's a little bit convenient. And I also have to make sure I actually set Furrow's Wind here. If you don't set Furrow's Wind, it's kind of bad. And Dead Hand appears again, and I didn't mention it before, Dead Hand's position is pure RNG. So, just fun fact. I got pretty lucky here, since Dead Hand was in a somewhat decent spot. I'm right next to the chest.
Shout out to a $25 donation from Roberto Sagaterelton III. We also have a $5 donation from a freebie. So hyped for this run. Good luck, Glitchymon, and ZFG, stop bullying Axel. LOL.
I would never bully Axel. I'm too scared to bully him.
Alright.
Yeah, so really cool big time saver there. So what happened there is similar to the bomb push that happened for entering Shadow Temple. You can also use a bomb push to clip out of bounds. So he did a Hess with 2 bombs really close to the wall, and the high speed from the Hess plus the bombs pushing you actually pushed you out of bounds. And Dead Hand's room happens to be fairly close to the boss loading zone, so you can actually Hess out of that room and land directly in the boss loading zone and go straight to Bongo. And this fight should go pretty quickly. You just shoot the hands, shoot the eye, which opens as soon as you shoot the hands, and already dead.
Bow here is a little bit faster than long shot, so we just take the time to equip it.
There's actually an even faster strat for Bongo, where you actually kill him essentially before the fight even starts, but it only works on the N64 1.0 and 1.1 versions. And we're playing right now on the WBC 1.2 version. WBC only has 1.2. And BC is like overall much faster in many other different ways, but there's that one advantage that N64 would have, but unfortunately we just have to do this instead. But it's a cool little exclusive N64 trick.
That's all they have left.
Yeah. The one more for Roseman warp away. And this is why Frozewin was set in that one room earlier. It's just like a perfect position to get right back where you want to go. We can actually start going down into Shadow Temple and actually get Spells and stuff.
We have a $5 donation from Mufasa. I have a question for Glitchymon and ZFG. Why do you guys think the world record in 100% has been lowered so much in the last 1 to 2 months? Thanks in advance.
Because of the new tricks. Because SRM, so SRM, it's been a while since it's been found and implemented, but it was only in early March that the butterfly SRM, the stuff you saw in Zora's River back at the beginning of the run, that was only found in early March. It took like a whole month to actually implement it into runs. So essentially, people didn't really start running it until April. And so that was about 2 months ago. So timeline fits perfectly right there. April, people start doing runs of this, and then it just saves such an enormous amount of time that it pushes the record down so quickly.
And we are very soon going to be having a faster route as well.
Yeah. Expect another several minutes pushed down in the next 2 months. If even that, probably faster. Well, I don't know. On one hand, it could be pushed down a lot in less than 2 months. On the other hand, it might take 2 months for the route alone because it's going to be very complicated. And the trick we're talking about was found literally like 3 days ago, so
yeah,
very early on.
So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a little bit of RBA. We will get Forwards Winning on B back eventually, but we just need to do some stuff. So what I did was I gave myself my bomb shoes back. What I'm doing now is I'm doing Ice Air RBA, which gives me the boss key for Water Temple, which we will eventually need. And now I'm going to drop my bugs, which will give me 20 bombs, give me my bombs back, and now I'm going to catch over milk, which saves a little bit of time later. And we're done RBA. And it's pretty fast to do this on the boat, because we have to wait anyway for the bugs to move. Or we have to wait for... We just have to wait in general, so doing anything like that idles is really good. And also, if you stand here, the Staphos fall off, so we won't have to deal with them. ZFG, what's your opinion on the wheel?
I like it. It's I think wheels are a good invention that help you transport things more easily and quickly, and also let you avoid stealthless fights.
And the only reason we're coming back here is for this one lone Skulltula. This is the only reason we have to take the time to ride the boat.
Do we really have to take the boat, though?
Very good question.
Maybe someday we won't be taking the boat anymore.
And we may, in fact, be finding new methods to get there. Just maybe. I think this has
A really cool...
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I think this has...
Yeah, so...
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you go. Okay, Big Hess. Oh, no.
I was gonna say, this is probably... The start of the Hess is one of the worst in the game, but the Hess is cool.
Yeah, it's really Big Hess skips, like, gets across a really big room really quickly. Oh, no. They want to get the bomb drop in the pot later on.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, there's the Hess gone right. And you can do a quick weird shot here to get the Skulltula quickly without having to open this gate. While a like is coming towards you, but if you're fast enough, then you can get away from him in time. The weird shot's also kind of weird because there's an invisible spinning scythe that's spinning around there. And you have to kind of time it in between the spin of the blades so that it doesn't hit you before you're doing the weird shot. Or while you're setting up for it.
Oh, by the way, I think I might skip bombs. We have enough.
I do it just for safety.
I don't think I've ever bonked there before in my life.
Nice.
Because I normally have this amount, so I think... I don't know. I want to skip it.
Alright, if you want to go for it.
Yeah, I'm going for it. I usually have this bomb count sometimes in runs, regardless. It works out. Just don't waste more than, like, my entire bomb inventory. That's all.
I don't know, dude. It's like a 2-second detour. But okay.
Yeah. 12 is plenty. Famous last words, Pepe laugh.
I can't wait.
Yep. Okay, so we are done Shadow now. So now we're just gonna go back Temple of Time. No reason. Could be something special waiting for us, potentially.
Yeah, and so one thing about doing the dungeons this way, where we kind of beat the boss first and then finish up getting the Skulltulas afterwards, is the ability to just warp straight out. Because if you were to beat the boss last, you either watch the cutscene, or even if you skip the cutscene but still do the boss last, you might have to like go back into the blue warp or something and go outside the dungeon, which is really slow. And so the fact that we finished the Skulltulas last means that we can just play a warp song straight out of there. So we essentially have the fastest possible escape method of getting out of the dungeons, which is really nice. And here we get the most wonderful cutscene in the game, the nearly 5-minute cutscene. This is snack break. Anyone got a snack? Gonna go to the bathroom. Get a nice little drink. Get comfy. Hydrate.
Ah, yes. Hydrate.
Nice and hydrated.
Yeah. Yes, you could always go for a drink as well. It's always doable during the break time. So here we find out that, spoiler alert, Sheik is actually Zorldo, so sorry for the unaware viewers who never played this game. You've been spoiled, even though you are watching a speedrun marathon. Sorry to break it to you. Also, one thing about the cutscene here, that's about to be played is that what's going on here is that right now we're Adult Link, and we have Ball on B, and Child Link, it's going to put us to Child Link, and it's going to send us to Child during this cutscene. We are Child Link right now. Like, we have Child Link equipment and everything. So this is basically the equivalent of dropping the Master Sword. This is the exact same thing. Or pretty close to it. And now we're back adult, so this is the equivalent of picking up the Master Sword. So, let's see what happens. Although, it might take a few minutes to show that, because this is such a long cutscene. It's one of the longest in the game. So...
The only thing longer than this is the credits. So, yeah.
Yeah. What about Decretry cutscene?
Even that I think is a little bit shorter.
Yeah. The world's longest, like, don't do any inputs is that cutscene, definitely. Or at least, like, from my experience. You won't see that cutscene in any category except for glitchless.
When's glitchless, but you can skip cutscenes?
Faster Quest.
Yeah.
Now we just have to... Wait for Ganon to finish talking, or Ganondorf, and we'll leave.
Well, I guess I could take this opportunity to give a few points, some information that Hackensack Medical Center would like to let people know.
Sure.
Just reminding everyone that all donations go directly to Hackensack Meridian Health in order to go directly to the COVID Response Fund and work to help save lives. I'd also like to encourage everybody to wash your hands often and for at least 20 seconds. Wear a mask or cloth covering your mouth outside, and they'd like to encourage people to try phone calls and video calls rather than texting to stay in contact with people.
So yeah, you saw Glitchymon got Frozman on B back again. That's because of the Lighter cutscene, because of the going back to child and adult during the cutscene. That actually does activate Bottle Adventure again, since he had Bottle on B before the cutscene. And so just gets you Frozman back. It makes it really convenient because you just delete Frozman during the Shadow Temple part when you need more bombs, so you can RBA more bombs. And you don't actually have to worry about losing Frozman because you can get it right back. Because normally, like, doing Ball Adventure to get something on your B button is a big commitment, and if it goes off your B button at all, then it's just gone and you have to redo Bottle Adventure for it. But Light Arrow cutscene just gives you a free Bottle Adventure, so it doesn't even matter. Does Bunny Hood count as a mask? In this game, yes. However, I would not suggest using a bunny hood to protect yourself from COVID-19.
I mean, if you do wear a bunny mask in public, I think you're pretty protected.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I guess people will probably stay 6 feet or more away from you.
Yep. So, right now, we just got double defense, because we will not be doing any more dying in this run. So, all death warping is gone. Trying to damage down with double defense is a little bit difficult, let's just say. Also, the fastest way to get into Ganon's castle is to wait for the Rainbow Bridge. What you can do is you can do a hover into Ganon's castle. The only problem is it's a little bit slow. But there will be probably faster methods to get what we need in here soon.
Coming soon.
Yeah,
soon, TM.
So ZFG, how's my bomb count?
Good enough for now. But I think you'll probably be tight.
Nonsense. It's fine, right? I have.
It's fine. Just don't fail.
Yeah, just don't fail anything. It's not even hard. I should tell that everybody who's doing stuff in life, just don't fail it.
Yeah.
Alright. Don't fall. So now we're getting the golden gauntlets, which is the only item we really need in Ganon's castle. It's required for 100%. And now that first win point we set here, we're just gonna go back and go to the Poe Hut. This scenery is completely normal. There is nothing out of the ordinary here. No worries. Everything's okay. So what we're gonna do here is we are going to equip swap the Poe so we can give the same Poe to him 10 times, which saves about 4 minutes over the run. Over manually collecting the Poes. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. You don't want to miscount here, because if you miscount, you gotta get another Poe. Uh-oh. Huh? 5. Six. Seven. Eight, and we only have to do one more after this. One more equip swap. But equip swap is actually a double frame perfect trick because the pause menu runs at 20 frames per second. The pause menu runs at 30 frames per second versus OOT's in-game 20 frames per second. So getting that Poe on, getting it to be equip swapped is like 1 in 30 frame window. It's pretty difficult. But once you get used to it, you get used to it. Like, you won't fail it too often. When you first start learning it, it's a huge pain. But then we got all the Poes, so he's gonna give us a bottle. Which won't really make too much of a difference because we already have, like... Actually, no, we don't have... Okay, this is the real 4th bottle, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. In older routes...
What if you... go ahead.
In older routes, we would have all 4 bottles there, but we get anyway because of source requirement.
Yeah, someone in chat asked, what if you give extra to him? So if you give him extra, if you give him the 11th, he'll just give you another 100 points like normal and not say anything else. And then 11 is the max, and you can't give him more after that. So it's not 10 that's the max, it's 11 for whatever reason.
And we're going to be using a combination of bombs and bomb chews here because in certain areas, bomb chews is a little bit faster. Not by much, though.
Yeah, Din's Fire is collected later, so that's one benefit of using SRM to get Din's Fire early is that we can both use Din's Fire early and we can delete it without fear of not getting it back. Because so we did delete Din's Fire from doing the Podoops there, but we'll get it back once we get the real Din's Fire, so it's all good. So this trick is pretty cool. He's doing a Hess there, and you saw he just put down a bomb. That bomb is going to hit the coordinates 0, 0, 0, which is where the game stores unloaded enemy data. Like this gold Skulltula up here, which was just killed by that bomb, even though the bomb was very far away. So it's a nice way to kill that Skulltula quickly and grab it with a long shot from far away. And then from here, you can Hess all the way back to the head. Oh, and remember the gold skulls on the back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Ooh, that was a little bit close. You don't want to fall there. Yeah, we failed Jabber Wrong Warp earlier in the run, so we couldn't get the Skulltula, but we're just getting it now. Convenient.
Oh, you can get the bomb drop here, and you still skip it.
Oh, I need that, though.
Well, actually, now you really don't need the bomb drops, because you only need one more anyway.
Amazing collision.
Cool.
We have plenty of explosives, don't worry, guys.
Yep, that actually is plenty. Just don't fail King Dongo.
Okay.
Nice. So yeah, you can, if you use Navi as soon as you touch that switch, you are essentially moving in the cutscene of where the door is opening. And normally when you get off that switch, the door would close again. But since you're moving in the cutscene of it, it doesn't close instantly. So you can actually get to the door before it closes again. And you can hammer that that floor there, but the hitbox for destroying that floor with the hammer is actually ridiculously tiny. It's I'm pretty sure like the smallest possible hitbox it could be. I think it's like 1 unit, like a 1 unit cylinder. Actually using bomb flowers.
Intended. Also, we have a little bit of a scary wrong warp coming up. If we fail this, then that would be very bad. So I'm gonna safety save, and even if I do safety save, it can still be an issue. Hopefully it won't be. We did it.
Hog. So this is a really important wrong warp because this takes you to the Nocturne of Shadow cutscene. And so there's a few reasons why this is important, or the main reason why this is important is this cutscene is triggered normally by beating Forest, Fire, and Water Temple. And so far, Glitchimon's only beaten Forest. Water Temple is actually coming up next. But Fire Temple is the important one. Fire Temple we want to do at the very end of the run, because we can actually use Fire Temple to wrong warp all the way to Ganon. And so we don't want to beat Fire Temple early, but we can't do Fire Temple at the end if Fire Temple is required to watch this cutscene. So by wrong warping into this cutscene, we eliminate the need for beating Fire Temple earlier, so we can push Fire Temple all the way to the end. And not only that, but this cutscene is also a two-part cutscene, and you wrong warp into the second part, completely skipping the first. Nice little, I think like 1 minute cutscene skip.
The first cutscene is a bathroom break set. So
Yeah, bathroom break skip.
Just like to shout out some Pokemon donation goals we have. We have for the Pokemon Puzzle League tomorrow, choose that Pokemon. Whether you want to have Squirtle, Bulbasaur, or Pikachu as the run Pokemon. We've got Squirtle in the lead by $1,000 right now, so if you wanna change that, get to work. We've also got Pokemon just in the lead ahead of Zelda as the best game franchise. So, all you Zelda fans out there, this is your time to fight.
Oh no. So getting into Water Temple here, you can do a jump slash clip through the wall there and avoid having to open the gate. Clip straight into Water Temple from out of bounds. And just like in Shadow Temple, we're gonna go to the boss first instead of doing all the other stuff first.
There's
Cool door.
Yeah. Oh no. My favorite.
Oh no.
There's a reason why I like to set up the angle there. Makes it so you don't have to wing it. That's okay. You have to be going pretty much directly up the ramp, otherwise Link falls down. So this fight is pretty straightforward for the most part. Isn't really a lot to it, but we have to get Morpha out of the tentacle and get Morpha into the corner, because you can technically okay, you can infinite Morpha in the corner here. That's the correct word. Trap Morph in the corner and kill her a lot quicker than you normally would. So we do Morpha first because it's just overall faster than doing Morpha last. because we can warp out at the end of our temple. And this is the last cutscene skip in the run using Furor's Wind. And ideally I want to nail this, because if I don't, that's bad. So, would not fail it. We got it. So, this is the same as the other cutscene skips, pretty much. Just press B to return Furor's Wind when the screen turns white. Because some cutscene skips work a little bit differently than each other.
Yeah, specifically adult warps and child warps are a little bit different, where the child warps you have a much bigger window, whereas the adult warps you have to do it like right at the end. Still fairly easy as both, but you gotta pay a little bit more attention for the adult warps. Nice.
World's greatest ledge.
Alright, right there was the hardest trick in the game. Got it pretty quickly. But yeah, that just saves like having to sync down with Iron Boots, because Iron Boots is very slow to sync down with.
What you can alternatively do is you can dive at the same time as you set Furor's Wind, but it's not very fast. Well, it's pretty fast, but it's not easy. And I think it's around the same speed now. So pick your poison. And Rudo, Rudo's gone now. We won't see her again. And we do need a few items from Water Temple. We need Skulltulas and keys. We only need 2 keys and... Actually, no. We need 3 keys in water, don't we? Could be wrong.
We need 3?
Yeah, I think,
yeah, 3.
Yeah, 3. I have to be very careful this trick doesn't fail. It's very important. We got it. What I do there was I do an untargeted side hop there, and then press Z when Link I can't talk. When he touches the wall, and that changes Link's direction he's going from sideways to forwards, which allows me to get that key early, which saves quite a bit of time. But if you fall there, you can't really easily get back up. It's kind of difficult to manage. And since I have no bombs, I'm going to be using Choose here. That was a interesting Hess. But you're using bombs again very soon. And our bomb shoot count in this run is kind of limited, but it's not too bad. But we do have to be careful with our shoes. There is an alternative. Okay. There is an alternative strat to use hover boots to get across here, but since we need Kikiri boots, it's not very fast. Big Iron Sword gets that more correct than using hammer. We can hit that switch with both hammer and BGS. But BGS is faster. We're gonna set Furor's Wind in Adult 2 for the last time. And we are gonna have no magic left. This route has a perfect magic count. So it's not the easiest. Wow. Okay. And what I'm gonna do here is a hammer slide. It's kind of like a super slide, but with hover boots, but I use the hammer as the recoil. And pause buffering to equip the boots is frame perfect.
Yeah, and then the hover boots lets you actually open that door even though there's no platform below it. Normally you'd have to like raise the water up to that level to open that door, but hover boots actually act as a platform, so you can actually open it.
What we can do here is a weird shot to get the like as opposed to hitting the crystal switch. Saves a little bit of time. And also, BGS on Dark Link combined with Deku Nuts is very fast, even though we have a lot of hearts. So a few things about Dark Link is that Dark Link's health matches our max health, and throwing Deku Nuts to the side allows you to stun Dark Link, because if you throw Deku Nuts directly at him, it won't work. It won't do anything. So that way we can do the fight really fast.
The reason it just Hess across the waterfall platforms is it's too big of a gap for just a Hess. Hover boots don't last long enough and you don't go fast enough to actually cross the whole room.
And what I did there was a trick called entrance point glitch, where I loaded both rooms at once. And there is a small amount of hookshot collision under that door, which we have used to get back into the room. And that skips having to play Song of Time for the Song of Time block, blocking our way. That was actually it was a pretty major puzzle before that was found, right, ZFG?
Yeah, like in routing a long time ago, we really wanted to find some way to get around Song of Time there, and it would save a lot of time in the route, and for a long time we just couldn't do it. And then finally we found a skip for that Song of Time block, which was a pretty big development at the time. This was like 5 or 6 years ago at this point.
I remember. The first method there was to void under the chest. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was actually really cool. I love that strat.
Also, the estimate is very, very high for this route. Or not that high. Because anything can happen in 100%. So...
Yeah, it's just a padded estimate just because so many things could, in theory, go wrong. You know, like a certain NPC coming up in roughly 20 minutes.
Oh, yes. Right. Thanks for reminding me.
No problem. Are you doing save Dante?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless we get donation incentive for Risky Dampe.
That'd have to be a high one.
Oh, yeah. Time to get first try in a marathon again and then never again. I mean, Dampe was kinder to me during the pre-no SRM route. He was so nice to me. Now he hates me. He doesn't like me anymore.
I'm always so back and forth with Dampe. Sometimes I get like 3 first tries in a week, and then some days it's just like 20, 30, 20, 15 constantly.
I got 41.
I think I'm on... Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got 41 the other day.
I think I'm currently on a bad streak. I think I've gotten like 3 bad ones in a row now.
But if my Wii is haunted by Dampe's spirit, well, I better hire someone to get rid of it. ZFG, do you want to volunteer?
No.
Didn't think so. But Child 3 is a little bit of a scary section. I'm gonna do a safety save just in case anything happens, because if I mess up my equips at all, the run won't be able to continue. So we're gonna do that. Not that you should, but it can happen. Because we have... So what I did there was I put the real bunny hood on a C button, and I equip swap the bunny hood to another button. So what this will do is it will write the egg. So I just got the egg. It writes the egg over the bunny hood. Well, I keep a fake bunny hood on C right, and we're gonna need that to give to the running man in Harrow Field. And the issue with this route is juggling all those items. That is like the biggest challenge. We have to make sure we can juggle everything. And make sure we don't accidentally equip over anything important. And my equips are very scripted as well, so it's Ocarina to C left. And then we'll go from there.
And so here we're finally getting Din's Fire back after deleting it earlier. Intentionally.
And, we still have, like, one more fairy fountain to go to for one more spell. But we're mostly done with fairy fountains. Mostly. And also, I have to be still careful about my chew count. That I don't waste too many. It's gonna be important. And it's also very important that I don't fall here. If I fall here, that's pretty bad. That's not gonna work. Because if I fall, I'll get caught by the guards and sent to the beginning of Harrow Castle area. Not ideal. So again, I have to be very careful with my equips here. I need to equip Bomb Shoes to C down and Slingshot to C left. Do not equip over C right under any circumstances.
And also, waking up Talon there is important because that's what activates being able to talk to him at Lon Lon, so you can do the Lon Lon Milk minigame with the Cocos, and also talk to Malon to get a bonus song. That's why we have to wake up Talon. And now guards super late in the run. This used to be like one of the earliest things in the run, and now having it late is kind of scary.
I'm going to wait.
These guys can be pretty dumb. Yeah, just play it safe. Play it safe in when it's so deep in here. When it's so deep in this run.
There's no reason to play this risky.
And the best part of this route, getting to watch the Zelda cutscene with Bunny Hood on. And here's another great cutscene.
Hope you guys like cutscenes.
I'm actually going to use this cutscene to take a break. I'll be back soon.
Sounds good.
Pokemon's still in the lead by just under $50, guys.
Yeah, this cutscene is a potential bathroom break, but it's pretty short. I'm gonna probably take the one coming up soon. I can't remember if you can see Mario in the cutscene. I can't remember. I think you can see a glimpse of him. Or no, I don't think you can. But yeah, there's a very important skip coming up right after this cutscene finishes. And then we're gonna go into more cutscenes. Like, a lot of the cutscenes in this run are kind of thrown to the very end where it's convenient. And if I fail this, that's very bad, so I cannot afford to fail it. It's not a good idea. Yeah, more cutscenes. Cutscenes are fun. Cutscenes are cool. I love cutscenes. Because they're cutscenes, so if I do more cut, maybe they might disappear. Never know. Okay, here comes the hard trick, because if I fail this, then we lose a lot of time. This is very, very, very difficult. But we'll probably be fine. One more frame. Okay. Alright, looks like we got it. Yep, we got it. So the way that works is that... Okay, well, I gotta use the bathroom, but I'll explain in a second. BRB. Timer shouldn't be paused. So, the way that trick works is that when I shoot the guard window, normally he pops out and tells you not to shoot at the window, but what I did was I shot the window and looked away on the frame before it would have triggered, which stores it, and then I use that text trigger to go past the cutscene's trigger to activate the Zelda's Lullaby cutscene. And as I deactivate the text, I go into the loading zone, Zelda cutscene activates, I skip it. And then afterwards, I morph directly into this cutscene. Saves a bunch of movement. card. Finally getting the Ocarina of Time after 2.5 hours. There's not really too much here, but a fun fact about this cutscene is if you try and break out of this, there's a lot of cutscenes you can break out. You can break out of this cutscene when using practice tools, but this cutscene for some reason crashes every time you do it, so it's pretty weird. And this game uses a lot of lighting tricks to give illusions. So. Alright, this is the last cutscene for a bit. And our boy Dampe is coming up very soon. So it's going to be very interesting.
Hey, I'm back.
Welcome back. Don't worry, nothing happened.
Good. Yeah, gotta double equip swap the letter there again to make sure it doesn't get lost, because if you see now the actual inventory slot for it says sold out. So if you didn't make sure it was equipped with equip swap, then the letter would be lost forever. And the letter is really important because you need to give it to the guard at Kakariko in order to open the Happy Mask trading shop.
But yes, I'd be very careful with my equips here. Not to equip over C down under any circumstances.
Yeah, if the letter is gone, then it's run over.
Nice bomb drop. See, I didn't...
Lovely bomb drop that you don't even need.
Yeah. Guess I didn't need that bomb drop in DC, right? Getting it there.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Also, time of day is a little bit tight here, so you have to make it within decent time. There is a slightly faster strat, which makes time of day even more tight. But it's pretty difficult, and if you fail it, you lose probably like 30, 40 seconds, I'd say.
Yeah, because you gotta play 3 extra Sun songs?
Yeah.
Oh god, it's really bad, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna fall here.
Oh no, don't fail it.
No. I fell. It's over. I gotta think really hard here. Okay. Don't botch the equips.
Here are your equips.
So I only need to come down here for this skull. And I played Sun Song before I start playing it, because the funny part about when you warp away is that time of day still moves. It's not frozen. Oh. And it's time for our boy Dampe. How does chat feel?
You need... I was just gonna say, you need to be very early night to meet Dampe, so that's why Sun Song has to be played so late. But yeah, here's our boy coming up in just a sec.
Does chat have any bets for Dampe? What's Dampe gonna be? Imagine getting first try in a marathon again. I'd be very sad. At the same time,
imagine getting 15th try in a marathon.
Wrong equip. Oh well, that's okay. I didn't equip over letter. You gotta be really careful. Here's Dampe.
Boy. At least you got here with plenty of rupees.
Yep, 500. Not first try. That's okay. Oh yeah,
Dampe has been looked into very extensively. We know how Dampe works, how the RNG works, and it's not getting manipulated anytime soon. Unfortunately. Best bet is like maybe SRM can do something, but even then, doing SRM, like a setup for SRM would probably... Oh, second try. Not bad. But yeah, I don't even know if SRM could do it, but even if it could, a setup for it would probably take too long anyway, so it wouldn't be worth it. So yeah. Just gotta hope for second try. But no, that's really good. Second try only loses like, what, not even 10 seconds compared to first, so whatever.
I would love to get that kind of luck on my real runs, but I guess it can't happen.
Yeah, sometimes it works like that. At least you're not getting first try in practice. That really hurts.
I think I got once in practice before.
Oh no, I've gotten it multiple times in practice. At a certain point, I just decided I'm just not talking to Dampe in practice anymore.
Good work.
Just pretending. I don't want to waste all my luck.
Also, the guard's having a little bit of trouble with eye contact. If you're, I think if you Hess past him and then pull letter, it happens. Not too interesting, but just looks funny. Also, the nice thing is that normally during safe Dampe, you lose Navi and you have to figure out a different way to enter the well. But we got good Dampe, so we're just gonna enter the well for the second and last time because there are 2 Skulltulas in there, which we did not get earlier because we did not have Boomerang or any good items to do so. Oops.
Rip.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're back to bottom of the well for these last 2 Skulltulas. So these 2 Skulltulas, we could have gotten them early on, but there's 2 different ways we could have got them early on. One was hovering to them using bomb shoes, which works out, but it's just a little bit slower than just a second trip since grabbing them with Boomerang is so much faster than hovering. And there's an alternate method where we don't hover with bomb shoes, but we hover off the enemies themselves. This Deku Baba, and then in the next room off the keys. And that is technically faster, but it is so inconsistent, specifically hovering off the keys in this room, that no one ever goes for it because it's the stupidest trick in the game. It's not even that hard, it's just that you need the keys to cooperate, and they just don't cooperate. So yeah, it's just best to take a second trip down here. You get the Boomerang, you get the Skulltulas for free. Don't have to actually try. Don't have to worry about enemy RNG. Yeah, Dampe is just a 10% chance, 20 digs. Nothing more to it.
Also, we need Serious Song eventually. This is just a convenient time to go grab it. And it only activates...
Yeah, Serious Song... Yeah, Serious Song, you just have to warp straight to it, and there's nothing else to do in this area, so you just kind of do it whenever. As long as you do it sometime before Zora's River. That's all that really matters.
Hey ZFG, are you ready to accidentally dupe over Slingshot 3 times?
Wait, for what?
Duping over Slingshot.
Oh yeah. Now I remember. Yeah. Go for it. Do it.
Yeah, with no ball on B, I gotta somehow manage, you know?
I'm sure you'll find some way.
I don't know whether to feel proud or hurt.
Could be a little bit of both.
Yep. We want to grab this dog and just take him into the shop. He disappears for now, but he comes back a little bit later. We want to take the dog to the owner and get the heart piece, but just a little bit faster this way. Also, if you want to do this minigame without the Lens of Truth, you have a 1 in 32 chance to get the heart piece at the end here. So, if you want to attempt it, good luck. And actually, how likely is it to get twice in a row, if you know?
Twice in a row for getting the heart piece without lens?
Yeah, a double.
That'd be 1 in 32. Times 132. Let's do some quick maths for that. That would be a 0.09% chance.
Nice. Bombchu lady is not being very nice.
Yeah, 1 in 1024.
But for anybody who doesn't know anything about Bombchu bowling, there are 5 prizes we can get, and we usually get 2 of them. We get the bomb bag and the heart piece. And the order which he gives them to us is always set, but the starting item is always different. So ideally we want to start with the heart piece. The most convenient. And the fastest way to get the prizes to advance is to blow up our shoes as fast as possible. You can set off the chew off the side there. It saves a little bit of time over sending it down the center. Or sending it the same way as the second Bombchu hole. And we're done. In older routes, we skip that bomb bag, but because we can't get a 30 bomb bag from SRM, we have to get the bomb bag. But it just works out in general, so. Get the 40 slingshot bag. And we're almost done market. Since we gave the bunny hood and skipped the entire mask trading quest, we get the Mask of Truth with only doing 1 trade. It's very convenient. This is the final upgrade, so we're just gonna leave and never come back to market. However, there is 1 gold Skulltula that we're missing. Right in here. This was gotten before the very beginning of the run, but now this is the best time to grab it. Just because of where it is. And since we finally woke up Talon, we can now go to Lonlon and do everything. Lonlon is in 1 trip. Thankfully, no extra trips. Most of the run has been cut down to 1 or 2 trips for multiple locations, thankfully. Before, in a lot older routes, we used to go to areas multiple times. And it just works out that because of the new things we found for 100%, we've slowly been able to cut out different trips. A good example is when this route started, 2-trip water was proposed, but we cut it down to 1 trip, and we got used to bigger on sword, which is really convenient. in addition to this, coming up, we're going to be making use of bomb chews after we talk to her. Well, not directly after, but we're going to be using almost all our chews, assuming we don't waste any. So. But yeah, the only use for Epona Song in this run is to be able to do adult archery in Gerudo Fortress. That is the only reason we get Epona Song, or the only use for it. We need Epona Song for 100% completion, but Epona only has one use. Otherwise, she's useless. Or actually, that's a lie. We used Epona to get a Big Poe earlier.
Yeah, but even that, you could get a big Poe without Epona. It's just like, you kind of have to get Epona anyway, so you might as well use Epona for the Poe.
Yep.
Whereas if we could skip Epona for archery, then we would actually skip Epona completely. Dampe was second try. Pretty good. Nice, that has really cool. You're actually blowing the bomb chew up on 000, so I mentioned that earlier back in Dodongo's Cavern. It's where the game stores unloaded enemy data. And there actually is a hitbox for it, and it's super duper tiny. And you can actually use the bomb chew to hit it, to both blow up the bomb chew to Hess off of, and it kills 2 Skulltulas. It kills that one on the house. It kills that one on the house and one on a wall far away. It unfortunately does not kill the Skulltula on the back of the wall there, but Glitchymon used another chew to actually just kill that regularly. The only one that doesn't die, the reason that doesn't die to the 000 glitch is just because it's so close when you load the area that it's already loaded. So with it being loaded, it can't die to it. But it's a really cool trick. And you can do a little jump slash here to skip this box pushing puzzle.
Also, we have fishing coming up after Dampe. And fishing is mostly RNG based. And if you get unlucky, you can lose a lot of time.
Yeah, you got good Dampe, so you'll probably get bad fishing.
Not usually
That's
for
just
me.
how it works. Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah, usually get good. Usually when I have a good run, it stays good. I get good RNG. But if I have a bad run.
Oh, well, lucky you.
Yeah. Good run, good RNG. Bad run, bad RNG. Basically, that's how it goes for me. And I have to make sure I do not accidentally get the bigger fish in the first set, which happened in my last run.
So fishing actually has an interesting mechanic that we only found out like somewhat recently, where the fish actually have an increased chance to bite during early morning and during the afternoon. In the morning, they actually have a 1.5 times chance to bite. And in the afternoon, a 1.75 times chance. So we used to think for a long time, for like several years, there was this like superstition in the community that we always thought, dude, fishing in the morning is better. Like everyone swore fishing in the morning was better, but there was like no actual data to back it up. So it just seemed like a superstition. But eventually we actually found out it's true. Like there actually is, fishing actually is better in the morning. Now, technically with that afternoon thing, so afternoon fishing would technically be the best, but getting here in the afternoon just like does not work out time of day wise at all. And morning fishing is good enough.
Did he just... Dude, he just ran away. Yeah, he ran away. After...
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's bad luck. I have to re-enter the pond.
Rip. Okay, yeah, there actually was, like, this one Japanese interview that actually did have this data, but, like, it was lost and, like, no one knew about it. We couldn't find it until, like, after we had already found out from the code. So it was, I guess technically public knowledge, but, like, was very hard to find. Like, I don't know if anyone would have actually, like, it had to really be dug up from the depths of the old internet.
Also, one more thing. If you have to reload and enter the pond, you get bad fish. You have the 1 point, the normal modifier for fishing luck.
Yeah, the regular 1.0.
So now it's
Oh, that sucks.
pretty much impossible to get him. Quickly, anyway. This is what we
Come on.
This is what we had to deal with before. Thank you. Alright. Well, at least we got fishing done. You can do a Wes out of the water using the speed of the Mega Flip, but sometimes if you have a bad angle, it doesn't work. Not too bad, but sucks to fail. Not exactly in the mood to soft lock, so I'm not gonna jump slash there. If you read the soil text at the same time as getting the returning gold skull token, you will soft lock the game, and there is no escape if it happens.
I think we've both experienced it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fun soft lock. Oh yeah, that Rudo's letter he just got there, so there wasn't actually an animation for it. When getting the milk bottle or Rudo's letter, when you already have all 4 bottles in your bottle slots, you just, it does get put in your first bottle slot, but there's no animation for it. So you see he has Rudo's letter now.
I need to get a fish for later in the run. It might be important. We can technically use bugs, but bugs are kind of not good. It's not so good to use. I'm not gonna say what it is, but it's important. Also, this is a very big house to get to the top of Zora's Domain. It's very easy to fall off that ledge. Oh, so this is my last and final bomb shoot for a bit. perfect chew count. And this is the only save warp in the run that we normally do. And
It's so weird how much we've reduced saving.
yeah, I remember when save warping was like the biggest thing. Save warp,
Yeah.
save warp to fix the wrong warp in DC. Save warp when we go to GGG. You know.
Yeah. Just like save warping in dungeons, just get back to the beginning of the dungeon all the time.
Just to make sure not to lose my bugs. And for any info about bugs, for some info about bugs, their entry time is RNG. Like, their pattern is mostly RNG. You can influence it a little bit by putting them close to the center, but you can still mess up. If the bugs dig in the center, you won't be able to recatch them, and that's really bad. But you can put them really close to the center so that they dig pretty quickly, but there's still like 1 or 2 bugs you can still catch.
But then if you dump them all exactly on the center, then all 3 will dig at the same time and you can't recatch them, which is the worst.
Also, apparently, sometimes if you side up, well, what's the deal with the soft lock here, ZFG?
I don't actually know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
But like apparently if you play the Ocarina here on like a very specific part of the stump, it soft looks. Like you'll be stuck playing the Ocarina, but Skull Kid won't talk to you. And you can't get out of it.
Now for the more fun parts of the run.
Yeah.
Ocarina game. It's not really boring for me because I'm always worried about failing it and then losing a minute and a half. It's only on the last song though. If you fail the first few, it's not horrible. That's pretty bad. ZFG, do you have any cool OT facts you can share during this wonderful cutscene?
The notes can't play twice in a row. It has to be a different note every time. Is that a cool fact?
Yep, very cool.
Sometimes you can get real songs. One time I got Requiem and one time I got, I think, Epona song. That's very cool, isn't it?
I had a run that could have gotten record that had Serious song.
Nice.
Long time ago.
It makes sense because they're Skull Kids and you just taught the Skull Kids Sorry song.
Yeah, makes sense.
What's the percentage it'll play a real song? Well, so it can't play any songs with double notes in them, so no Serenade and Nocturne. So that'd be 10 songs it could possibly play. And then each note is a I guess the first note's a 1 in 5 chance, and the next ones are all 1 in 4. So then you have to do that for uh you have to do that for the 10 songs, but then you have to cut out the first game because it can't be in the first game because the first game only has 5 notes, and the only 5-note song is Serenade, which is a double note. So it can only be in the second 2 games, and then I don't know, for that from there you guys do the math.
So it's a very low chance, right?
Yeah. One in 51, 20 for a 6-note song. Well, that's only for one song though, but there's multiple songs it could be, so it'd be lower. Because it can be a 6-note song, it could be one of any of the gray note songs, and then also Requiem and Minuet. Yeah, and Prelude. So there's 8 songs. It could be.
Quite a few.
And then Bolero is only 8 notes, and then what else? What am I forgetting? I don't know. I don't know, is it 9 of them that are 6 notes? Why are we talking about this?
Well, we need cool OT facts, didn't we?
Okay, well, we're getting back to the speedrun, so we're going to talk about speedrun stuff.
Sounds good.
Alright, so here you can throw a bomb to kill the Skulltula from up here so that you can boomerang the heart piece at the same time, and it's really cool. And now we're going to go back to a slow, boring part of the run where we need time to fill, where we need to fill time with boring OT effects. I mean, not boring OT effects. Cool OT effects that don't have to do with the Ocarina game.
Exciting OT facts.
Yes.
Did you know that the frogs get bigger as you play the songs?
No, never noticed that.
Damn. We need to play every song in the game in order to get the 2 heart pieces here, and if a song doesn't work, then we know we forgot something. A very easy song to forget is Song of Time, because that means we forgot to grab the Ocarina of Time and the moat.
Although that one's at least easy to notice, because when you equip it, it would be the wrong color.
Yep.
And also Saria's song. Well, I guess at this point you wouldn't forget Saria's song, but it's easy to get to Skull Kid and then realize you forgot Saria's song.
I've done that so many times. With
I may or may not have done that once.
because but usually only happens when a new route happens.
Yeah.
The order of the frogs doesn't really matter for the most part, as long as like we don't repeat our songs. So now we're gonna go pick up the last Skulltula the last child Skulltula in Desert Colossus. But we're gonna do a little bit of RBA here, and There's a small time saver we can do with our equips, which I'll show. That's lucky. Hope this works. This looks a little bit far. I think I'm gonna lose the bugs. Okay, we're good. That's always scary because the bugs are always really close to digging.
Yeah.
So what that does is it saves a little bit of time on equips. And we actually have to wait anyway for time of day to go night. So we're essentially killing time. We can kill a little bit, but not too much. But this is the improvisation here. We have hammer equipped instead of stick. Also insta-dig
Yeah,
saves.
so...
Oh, sorry.
So the really cool thing about jumping and catching the bugs on B there is that with hammer on C right, the bugs go in a bottle on the neighbor's love slot. And so he's actually going to equip over the bottle on B in a sec. And that would normally mean that you'd lose the bugs, but the bugs just went back in a bottle in the inventory because of that. Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, I messed up the buffer.
And also, by doing ISG with hammer there, the ISG actually gets properties of the hammer, like being able to destroy certain rocks, which will be pretty cool in just a sec. Make sure to equip sword, too.
Usually do that a bit later.
Oh, I just don't want you to delete Ocarina.
Oh, that's fine. I'm not really too worried.
Look, I have flashbacks, okay?
Oh, so you do that early? Oh, I see.
Yeah, I do it during the hover.
Yeah, usually you save the Ocarina equip for dot skip. Or the sword equip.
Oh.
I mean, we can do swordless and save quite a bit of time. It would save that menu. One red idea I had was to, instead of hammer, just equip sticks and see right, and then get a stick back from the stick pot, but a little bit slow. The funny thing is that you cannot get back bombs or bomb chews if you lose them, but for some reason you can get sticks and nuts back. It's a pretty weird oddity. Also, we're not supposed to be back here. That door is closed as well. But it's convenient. It's very convenient for the sake of routing just to come from Death Mountain Crater as opposed to the top. Because this rolling Goron is in the perfect spot to send a bomb chew off to hit him before he goes for another cycle. And at the same time, we put the bomb in the rolling Goron pot to spawn the heart piece.
Yeah, and if you go into C up as soon as the urn spinning cutscene starts, you actually get you're actually able to move faster for some reason. Yeah, you can see the pot is still, or like just spit out the thing like as you got the bomb bag. Then you can Hess all the way up Goron City, all the way up into this boulder room, and the Hess lets you squeeze through the rocks all the way to the gold skull at the end. And then Hess to get back out. There's a really cool Hess. It's a lot of people's favorites. Uh-oh. So the hard piece from the spinning pot is not RNG. It's based on when you throw a bomb, so it's all based on timing. It has to end on the smiley face. And to do that, usually the best thing to do is like throw the bomb when it's on the neutral face.
And we don't need these bugs anymore, so we can get rid of them.
We actually equipped fish there.
Yeah.
Dude, you could have just equipped sword there.
But how do I equip? Oh yeah. I gotta just equip the bugs, right?
Yeah.
Oh well, well. Time saved for next run, right?
Yeah.
And we're in Adult 3 this time. This is the last adult section we have to go through, and Child 3 is the last child section to go through, so...
Alright, this is the final stretch.
Uh-oh. Wrong song. It's very easy to accidentally play Serenade over Requiem. I've done that a few too many times. Oh, so these levers are somewhat RNG, where their positions are gonna be. So I gotta try and avoid them while I'm messing around here. And we have a somewhat difficult trick coming up called Wasteland Hess. And if I fail the Wasteland Hess, I go back to the beginning of the area. And this is the last fairy fountain as well. And this will officially overwrite our Neighbor's Love with the slot with the real Neighbor's Love, which is one of the most useless items in this run. We don't ever use Neighbor's Love. But it was used in previous routes. Very sparingly. Because of the amount of time it takes to set it up and the amount of magic it uses. And also, our bomb count is pretty good. Doing pretty well right now. Alright, hard trick. I don't want to fail this too many times. Uh-oh. Alright, that was a little bit close. I like that. Made it, though. This looks like the wrong angle. I don't like that. You can get a third frame Hess there, and it's very, very hard to make it work. There we go, that's first frame. Be a little bit careful there. Uh-oh. Oh no, I actually voided. I didn't see the bridge in time. Oh no.
No, for someone asked in chat, can you hookshot the ladder there? No, you actually can't. Even though it looks like it should be hookshotable, it's just not. There's a lot of ladders in this game that aren't hookshotable, even though it looks like they should be.
Go too close to the ladder. There we go. Not difficult. But with this, we can get caught from the other side of the gate and get Naguta Fortress. Saves a bit of time from going from the front. And in this section of the run, we got to rescue the 4 carpenters to get the Gritter card. Because the Gritter card does show up in our inventory, and it is required. And the strange thing about the Gritter card is that if you want to enter GDG, it checks for the flag of the carpenters freed and not for the actual Gritter card in your inventory. Oh no! Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I saw it coming. That was RNG. Pretty sure. So anyways, the game checks for the flags that you freed the carpenters and not for the actual Gritter card. If you SRM the Gritter card in your inventory, they will not open Gritter Training Ground for you. And I choose to do ISG with BGS in these fights, just because of the fact that it can combo and get her trapped in place. But yeah, if I got hit by that guard with that strike, I would have been sent back to the jail, which will have lost quite a bit. Getting caught there isn't too bad, but it's still pretty bad. I've only had that like happen once before. So. Also, statistically, instead of... Where's the key? Okay. Instead of using hookshot on this guard, it's just faster to walk up and hope you get lucky. I didn't get lucky this time, though. Nah, getting caught by that guard definitely loses more than 40, I think. Okay. Last guard. You have two options here. You can either walk up to the guard, or you can use hookshot. I just prefer to use hookshot here because I feel like I get a more consistent pattern as opposed to running up. So, but it's a little bit difficult to do. Just like that. With that, all the carpenters are freed, and now we can maybe move on. No big deal. Also, a fun fact about this guard is that your tunic and your gauntlets can affect your clothes. So if I had no gauntlets, she would have a red tunic right now, but her clothes are reflecting my golden gauntlets. But if I pull a bomb, gonna flash a bit. As I'm running away. So this is a trick to get into GDG a little bit early, and it worked. Saves 7 seconds over talking to the guard. It's pretty decently precise flip though, and that side roll is frame perfect. We're gonna use another word shot here to get ice arrows for real. We already have ice arrows, but these are the real ice arrows from Source. So we do have to grab them. We can't skip out on them. Nice weird shot. Also, a little bit of thing, I have to call Apana here, but I have to make sure I turn a little bit. If I don't turn here, Apana will be literally at the bottom of Gouda Fortress, and it's going to be very hard to get her back up. But if I turn, she's up here. So it's much faster. Not that's too important, but fun fact. Also, it's time for archery. Well, I didn't want 2,000, but I guess I'm getting it. Or a pretty high score. You only need 1,000 for the first game, and you need 1,500 for the second. Oh yeah, because we have Ocarina, because we still had the Ocarina, the Fairy Ocarina equipped as adult. It's still equipped right now. I would have to re-equip Ocarina to change it.
Yeah, so the Ocarina he has in the inventory is still Ocarina of Time. It just doesn't auto-update when the C button says adult.
final quiver. No last chest to be found.
Yeah, there's still a few gold sculptures left down at Grotto Valley, so he's just gonna hest down Fortress to get to Valley.
No. Also, I gotta do a somewhat precise mega flip to get down to the heart piece by the waterfall. It's not too bad, but what? Okay, I need to redo that. That was a horrible camera.
Yeah, that angle is Monka.
Don't want to fail that. Cool. Down to the last heart piece. Well, I need to get the last heart container to get 20 hearts. And down to the last dungeon, too. No.
So this trick he's doing right here is forcing the camera to go to the side when entering this room. And when you enter this room normally, you see a cutscene with Darunia. And you want the camera to face away from Darunia to avoid that cutscene. And so that's why you'll see him do like some sort of awkward looking movement in this room. And that's all just to make sure the camera never faces Darunia.
I'm just making sure to do a safety save just in case. But yeah, Fire Temple is pretty straightforward for the most part. There's nothing too special about it. Just like this trick to get up here without Song of Time. And there's also this Skulltula, which I have to get from over here. And for some reason, it's very hard. And for some reason, well, for a good reason, it's very hard for my long shot to hit that Skulltula from that distance. It's inconsistent. And the reason that happens is because the long shot, my goodness, the long shot hits the wall before it hits the Skulltula, which is why I can sometimes fail when I shoot there. I always make sure to aim up right at the skull. And that was an interesting ledge grab. There's also there's also things in Fire Temple that can affect the wrong warp at the end. So doing anything, like doing certain actions can affect it. So spin attacking can affect it, getting hit by fire can affect it. Like quite a few things can affect it. surprisingly. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do a block flip here. Saves time of going around and going through unnecessary rooms. Because normally what we have to do here is we have to go up that and then go to the bottom floor here. And then use keys and everything, but we're already at the top, so it saves us keys and time. Also, about getting hit by the torch slug or fire, this is the easiest way to fix the wrong warp for later. Because if something called the cutscene pointer for the wrong warp is bad, then there is a chance we could soft lock or crash before the very end, which is very bad. We only need one more key. We only need one more key for fire, and that's it.
So here, there's this upper ledge that you need a hookshot to. Normally, you need Scarecrow Song for, but you can skip the Scarecrow Song with a really precise hookshot angle. It just barely works. Nice, that was really fast.
Yeah, that's can be very. You can lose a lot of time to that if you're not careful. Very end of the run too. So there's two options you can do here. The safe option is a save warp, because if you mess up anything in fire, like setting forwards wind, anything like spin attacking, you have to save warp here. Alternatively, you just jump down. I will probably still do a safety save regardless before I leave here. Like, just in case. Just in case anything happens. But we probably don't need it. Also, BGS OP for this room. Alright, just saving just in case. Probably don't need to, but, you know. Nice damage boost. I wonder how much that actually saves.
Probably like half a second.
Yeah. You do one push-up for every $1 donated before the end of this run. Alright. Alright guys, time to donate a lot of money. Yappa.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not that I'm not committed, I just don't know if I'm allowed to say it. Yeah, I'll do one push-up for every $1 donated by the end of this run. I would do it on stream, but I don't have access to this stream.
All right, get out your wallets, guys.
Alright, so we're gonna get the real hammer now. We've held on to the fake one for pretty much nearly the entire run. So... here we go. Hello, Mr. Keys. How do you do? Okay, so now I'm going to equip BGS. So there is a faster strat we can do for Vivagia, but the issue is that Vivagia is RNG, and whatever she does will determine how well we do. We can get a theoretically perfect fight if she goes in the first hole, but it's kind of hard to manage. Better holes are like the ones beside it.
Yeah, and so the way you do damage in this fight is using bomb trees and deck nuts to blow up the bomb trees real quick. And they're exploding on this hole. And Vivagia actually has 2 hitboxes for the flying one and the one that pops out of the hole. And the hitbox for the flying one is actually under that first hole you flew into during the cutscene. And so you just use a bunch of bomb chews there, hit Vivagia a few times, and a very quick fight. The bomb chews did so much damage so quickly. But the killing blow on Vivagia always needs to be a sword attack after being stunned. So there's no way to get around that, even if you just keep throwing bomb chews in the hole forever. Now coming up here is the wrong warp. This is a bit more complicated wrong warp / cutscene skip than some of the other ones. So he's gonna do Ocarina items on the edge of the blue warp. And this will allow him to gain control. Start moving around while the blue warp is going. So the goal here is to actually leave this room and hit the loading zone for going back into Fire Temple. Normally you're not supposed to hit that loading zone at all, but the loading zone does exist behind the door there. You can actually jump up to it by abusing the blue warp physics as you jump to give you a really high jump all the way up to the door. You're gonna get into the door frame, walk forward a bit, and try to do a slash right as he presses Z. This will wrong warp him all the way to Ganon's castle. Now he's got to do a very precise hover to try to get out of bounds here.
I hope this failed. That looked a little bit wrong, but... yay.
Alright. And so yeah, that hover is ridiculously precise. And doing it just right lets you clip out of bounds. You can fall to the bottom of the escape, where nothing's loaded except the collision and the loading zone for the very end of the escape. So you come out here and Zelda's right there. And so that means you don't even have to start the escape sequence. And also, there's no cutscene of the tower collapsing, and the reason for that is actually because he got caught in Gerudo Fortress. So, for some reason, getting caught in Gerudo Fortress shares a flag with having watched the tower collapsing cutscene. And normally, that would almost mean that casual players would like basically never see that cutscene either. But the flag actually gets unset when you start the tower collapse. But because the tower collapse was never started, the flag never gets unset. And so getting caught in Gerudo Fortress skips a 1 minute cutscene here.
All right, we have our first donation for my challenge from Anonymous. $25 saying, light physical punishment. Yay!
All right, that's a good start.
That's a good start. But you can do better.
Alright, so for the Ganon fight here, you do a jump slash right before the start of the fight to store power crouch stab damage. And so normally your Master Sword gets knocked away, but your power crouch stab you can still do with Hammer, and Hammer will end up doing the Master Sword damage. And the way damage works for Ganon is that all weapons except for Master Sword and Deku Sticks have their damage reduced to 1. So with Master Sword not being reduced, just storing it as your power crouch stab lets you hit Ganon really quickly because he's supposed to have 10 health. You're supposed to hit him 10 times, but Master Sword not being reduced means only 3 hits. Means jump slash damage does 4. And then for the second phase, you have Master Sword again, where you just jump slash a bunch.
Nice last hit. Alright, time is coming up.
Nice.
GG.
GG.
That was difficult. But this is probably the better than I expected for a marathon run. That was...
Yeah. Considering how much can go wrong in this run, like I think the only major thing is like what job we wrong with. So yeah, that's fine. Considering how much can go wrong. And Dampé didn't ruin it either.
Yeah, and the biggest thing was first try SRM, which is pretty hard to nail.
Yeah. First try SRM is a big deal.
Yeah, the only mistake was Jabba wrong work, and we did decent. So, anything else I should know?
Yeah, so I think I guess we're about done here.
Yeah, that's what my next question is. Because I don't want to cut my feed and then there'd be a blank screen.
Right, we'll let you know when we're good to go off.
Okay.
And yep, looks like we are pretty much good right now. So thank you for coming by, and you should be free to cut your stream whenever you like. And thank you both, Glitchymon and ZFG, for the lovely commentary and gameplay.
Alright, yeah, thanks for having us. It was fun.
And thank you, ZFG, for volunteering to help out.
Yeah, no problem.
And thanks for being so quick with the run. You actually managed to put us back on track for the schedule. So we have Super Mario 64 Relay Captains race coming up in about 5 minutes. And up until then, encourage you guys to get up, drink some water, go to the bathroom. If you're fortunate enough to have a yard to go out into, maybe get outside for a little bit. And if you like, I will be doing the. Well, let me make sure we don't have any more donations, last minute donations. Yep. Oh. Yep, we got another $20 from Internet Coma.